Field reporting.
Good to have you with us. Settle down and be comfortable. Lend us not only your ears, but your deepest concentration while we tell you a strange and macabre story. Where do you live? Peoria? Salt Lake City? Buffalo? Memphis? Huh? Where? Springfield? Manchester? Spokane? Hackensack? No, you don't live in any of those places, or in any other place that has a name. You live, each one of you, night and day, year after year, in the nameless, hidden places of your own mind.
Mr. Z, who ever dreamed up the Black Room anyway?
I have no idea.
Somebody must have.
There's always been a Black Room, Mr. K, far as I know.
Hell of a place.
Yes.
How long do you think he'll last?
Matter of days. Weeks, possibly.
Then what?
He'll go mad. Or die.
Our mystery drama, The Black Room, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Elspeth Eric and stars Larry Haynes. It is sponsored in part by Buick Motor Division and Anheuser-Busch Incorporated, Brewers of Budweiser. I'll be back shortly with Act One.
There is a fresh new spirit sweeping the land. A free spirit that demands good products. Products that satisfy your sense of good taste and desire for economy. But above all, products that perform. Buick has been touched by this spirit. And this year, our crisply designed, solidly built Buicks will bring joy even to the most demanding of free spirits. The 1975 Buicks, dedicated to the free spirit in just about everyone.
Hi, this is Pearl Bailey. Today I'm not going to try and entertain you. Instead, I'm going to put before you the distressing story of the needy children of the world. They need your help. The bright side is that you can give them all of this by working with Save the Children Federation. Together you can forge a better world, one in which children can have hope instead of despair. To find out how, you write today to Save the Children Federation, Box 120, Grand Central Station, New York, 10017. Please help these children.
All over Monroe County, we're faced with the difficult problems of today. If we're going to solve them, we'll all have to get involved.
We need leadership more than ever before, but we can't do it without you. So if we all get together, we can put it all together. So let's all join together and vote with us.
This message has been brought to you by a lot of Monroe County Republican people.
10 minutes. It isn't a lot of time, but it can be forever. 10 minutes is all it takes for a child to suffocate inside an unused refrigerator. Don't let this tragedy happen. If there's an unused refrigerator where children play, do one of these things. Seal the door shut, block it open, or remove it completely. Entrapment is not child's play, but a matter of life and death.
Somewhere, in some unspecified place, are three men. Three men of no particular distinction and no particular importance except to themselves. Yet the urgency of their speech and the intensity of their attitudes would make you think that something of the gravest consequence is taking place. And for all that I know, it is. Listen now to the story of The Black Room.
Why me? Why me? Of all people, I'm a very ordinary guy. I have a wife, I have a home, I have a job, I drink a little, I go bowling, I have some money. I'm just like everybody else, so why me?
We didn't take you because we thought you unusual.
Well, then, for God's sake, why?
We need information.
I haven't got any information.
We think you have.
Information about what? Look, if I have it, I'll give it to you. I'll tell you anything you want to know.
You mean that?
What do you want to know?
Why did you do it?
Do what?
You know.
I don't know. Do what?
It's not going to
Tell us.
What am I supposed to know? How could a man like me know anything?
Look me in the eye. Step up here. Closer. Look me straight in the eye. Now, why did you do it?
I didn't do anything.
Come on now.
He'll never tell you.
What am I supposed to have done?
He's hopeless.
You guys, I never saw you before in my life. Who the hell are you, anyway?
I'm the man in charge here.
And who's he?
My deputy.
Well, who gave you the right to bust into my house, drag me down here, and start asking me questions? Well, who gave you the right to do that?
It's not a question of right.
Well, it should be.
But it isn't.
Can I make a phone call? I can make a phone call, can I?
I'm afraid not.
Well, everybody's allowed to make a phone call. That's what I always heard. I want to call my wife, my lawyer, somebody.
Out of the question. We have no phone.
I never heard of a place that had no phone.
Now you have.
But you just can't keep me here. It's not right.
What's your idea of what's right? We'd really like to know.
Well, I can't tell you offhand like that. I don't know exactly.
Quite so. Neither do we. Mr. Kay, I think it's time for the Black Room.
Right. Come with me, please.
Come with you where? No, I'm not going anywhere with you.
Come on.
I don't have to go.
Yes, you do. Come on.
Do I have to?
Yes, you do.
Right this way.
I don't understand any of this. What is this place you're taking me to? What did he call it?
The Black Room.
Why do you call it that?
Because it's black.
What? Painted black? Black walls? Black furnishings? What?
Well, there aren't any furnishings. It's just a room. And it's black.
You're putting me in solitary.
You'll be alone. There we are. Step in, please.
Well, I can't see a thing. Nothing. It's black.
That's why it's called the Black Room.
Well, switch on a light.
There is no light. Once I close this door, there'll be no light of any kind.
You can't do this. Get out of my way.
Now,
let me...
just...
Help! Somebody help!
Don't make
help!
such a fuss. Cut it out. I'm going to close this door.
Are you there? Are we both in here? Well, say something. Are you here?
You haven't any matches on you by any chance? Or a lighter?
No.
Once I go out that door, you'll be in total darkness and total silence. No light, no noise, no sound of any kind. Only what you make yourself.
I don't see why.
You'll be fed once a day, never at the same time.
How will I know when?
It'll be either before you get hungry or after you've stopped being hungry.
You'll bring it to me?
You'll find it somewhere on the floor.
Well, how will I find it if I can't see it?
You'll feel around till you come to it. There'll be bread and water, and once in a while, if I'm in the mood, some cheese or a piece of fruit. Okay. Got it?
Will you tell the warden something for me?
The who? The warden?
Well, whoever he is, the keeper.
Keeper?
Well, you know who I mean, the man in charge.
That's Mr. Z. The end of the line. Tell him what?
Tell him that
That you what?
I've forgotten.
Well, it's a good beginning. Keep it up.
Oh, wait a second, wait.
What now?
Let me look at the light.
Look at it. Okay. That's all.
The thing is, not to be frightened. Only thing to fear. Fear itself. Yes. Why am I whispering? I should be shouting. What's that? I hear something. I hear. What is that? It's my heart. It's my heart beating. I'm hearing my own heart. The only thing I can hear is my own heart. Shh. Quiet. Quiet down. Quiet. That's better. Yes. That's better. Much better. Better. Yes.
How did it go?
Very routine.
Good.
He fussed a little.
Oh?
I found it necessary to step inside with him for a few seconds.
No trouble, though.
He went numb pretty fast.
I thought he would.
He wanted me to give you a message, but then he couldn't remember what it was. And he thinks you're some kind of a warden.
A warden?
Or a keeper.
Poor man.
You know, Mr. Z, I didn't much like it inside that room.
You knew you were coming out.
Who ever dreamed up the black room anyway?
I've no idea.
Somebody must have.
There's always been a black room, far as I know.
Hell of a place.
Yes.
How long will he last, do you think?
Matter of days. Weeks, possibly.
Then what?
He'll go mad. Or die.
Wonder what he's doing now.
Oh, counting by twos, then by threes, then by fours. Anything to keep from thinking. That's what they all do.
Remember things. Beautiful things. Remember the ocean, the sand, the sounds of the sea, the waves, winds, running on the beach. Oh, God, I'm crying. These are my tears. Now, come on, now, let's not have any of that, none of that. No, just remember other things. The house, no. Not the house. I'm not ready to think about the house. School. Oh, yes, school. Matthew Arnold, English poet, 1822 to 1888. Yeah, something like that anyway. Is it so small a thing to have enjoyed the sun, to have lived light in the spring, to have lived, to have thought, to have done? I don't know the rest. Sleep. I want to sleep. No, I'm afraid to sleep. Will I ever sleep? What's that? I heard something. Yes, I hear something. Shh. Quiet. Shh. It's a rat. They've let a rat in here. I'm shut up with a rat. Where is that? Where is that rat? I'll kill it. I'll kill it with my bare hands. Where is it? Where is that? Where? Can't hear it anymore. Where is that rat? Where is it hiding? What'll it do? No, that's enough of that. Just lie down on the floor. Stretch out. Just let go. What'll happen will happen. Just let it happen. That's the best way. Don't fight. Don't struggle. Just lie quiet. Empty your mind. Yes. It doesn't matter if my eyes are open or closed. Isn't that funny? They're not really funny. When I go to sleep, will my eyes close or will they stay open? Yes, I can feel my eyelids raise themselves up. Now I feel them come down. But everything's the same. Black, just... it ran over my hand. The rat ran across my hand. Where is it now? I don't hear it. Did I imagine that? Did I ever hear it? Did I really feel it? There. I hear it again. Now, why would they do that? Why would they put me in a black room with a rat? They must be devils. Where is that rat now? Shh. Will it makes a noise? Shh. Again. Ran across my hand again. And wait. Just hold on now. Hold on, it's not so bad. The rat didn't bite you, did he? No, he simply ran across the back of your hand. That's all. You're not hurt. You're perfectly all right. Perfect. Oh, you don't sound like such a big rat. Oh, you sound like kind of a very small rat. Oh, you could be a mouse. Sure, a very small little mouse. Why not? Now, if I should just lie here quietly with my arms spread out like this, would you run across my hand again? Would you? Huh? Hey, you see, I'm calmer now, much more relaxed. I'm waiting. Ah, there you are. Oh, my fingers. Oh, such light little feet, so delicate. Oh, I think you must be no more than 2 inches long. How are you, my friend? Huh? How is my mouse chum? My pal, Mr. Mouse. How's everything with you? Okay? Good. Me? Oh, I'm managing. So far, so good. Yeah. You know, I think I can hold out for a while. Anyway, at least I'm not alone. Not altogether alone. Not quite.
The great horror is the fear of being alone. Man will do anything, suffer anything to avoid it, and to postpone that crucial moment when, no matter what he does or what he suffers, he must face his own essential aloneness, the very last moment of his life. We'll be back shortly with Act 2.
Who knows how to help you solve your shopping problems? Your Better Business Bureau.
I'm Inspector Pry, Miss.
Violet, Inspector. Miss Violet.
According to the report, you say someone is hiding in your house?
Oh, I'm sure of it, Inspector. I've found things. Sweaters, blouses like mine, but they're not mine. They're much too small for me and all faded and torn.
I'll help you, Miss Violet.
Who are you?
I'm the man from the Better Business Bureau. Those are your clothes, Violet, and you aren't taking very good care of them. Before you buy your clothes, understand what's on the label. For example, if you buy a garment which is labeled pre-shrunk, make sure you understand the cleaning instructions on the label before you wash.
And I thought, from now on I'll read the labels before I buy.
And no more shrinking, Violet.
Just another helpful tip from your Better Business Bureau.
Some people think we play ping pong all day. They're wrong. The USO isn't all fun and games. Today, the USO has millions of problems like this one in Germany.
My family's going crazy living in a tiny apartment. Where can we live?
Today's USO has millions of problems like this one in Asia.
I'm hooked on drugs. Where can I get help?
Or this problem in Athens.
Our marriage is breaking up. Can you help us?
Today's USO has little time for ping pong. We've got serious work to do. We've got lots of new problems here and overseas. The problems are big. How big? Well, if someone asks you, who needs the USO? Tell them,
we do! We do!
Over 5 million American military personnel and their families need today's USO. And because we get no government funds, we need all your support. Please give to USO through the United Way or local USO campaign.
The simple man we have chosen to be our hero is confined in the Black Room, a bare place without light or sound. But by chance or fate, or the mercy of God, he has found a companion, a mouse no bigger than his thumb. This tiny creature has become his sole defense against the terrors of being alone.
Sit here on my hand. And let me stroke your head, Mr. Mouse. There. You like that? Tell me you do. Somehow let me know that you do. You don't know how much it would mean to me to know that I was giving pleasure to someone. That's one of the chief horrors of being cut off from everything and everyone. There's no one to serve, to help, to amuse. Yes, that sounds strange, I suppose, but I never knew till now how important it is to bring pleasure and comfort and amusement into other lives. Will I ever laugh again? That's too much to expect. Yes, I know that. I don't mind crying anymore. I cry a lot. I don't care. When I weep at the hopelessness of it all, I feel somehow it's not quite so hopeless. Now, why is that? Do you know, Mr. Mouse? Mice don't cry? Is that what you're saying? Mice take life as it comes. Yes, but men can't do that. Men rebel and struggle and suffer. Oh, yes. Yes, how they suffer. Oh, are you agreeing with me? Or are you telling me you're hungry? You know what I have for you this time? Some cheese. Yes. They left me a piece of cheese this time. I ate most of it, but there are some crumbs. And they're in the breast pocket of my shirt. Now, if you just get into my pocket, way down at the bottom. You're easy now. Don't be frightened. Now, you know I wouldn't do anything to hurt you, my little friend. There. Head first. Down you go. Ah, yes, you found them. You found the crumbs of cheese. You're eating, and I'm almost laughing. Not quite, but almost. I'm almost laughing because you're so pleased.
I gave him a piece of cheese this time.
What for?
Oh, I don't know. Just to give him a little hope, I guess.
Well, if you want to drag it out.
Bread and water get so monotonous.
I imagine the last thing in the world that concerns him is monotony.
Well, it gets monotonous for me, too.
You say he's eating well.
So far, every crumb.
That won't last.
I suppose not.
Not if he's like the others, it won't. A few more days, then.
Now stay out of my way, Mr. Mouse. Don't get hurt. I'm just looking for our food. Well, maybe he hasn't left it yet. There hasn't been any cheese for a long time. No, I can't count the days anymore, but it's been a long time. Oh, I found it. What is this? What? It's an apple. Imagine an apple. Say, I wonder, is it red or green or yellow? Perhaps I could tell by the taste. Macintosh. Or have I forgotten the taste of apples? I used to know it so well. You want some, do you? Now, where may I bite off a piece for you? Well, you know where it is. Come on now, you know. The pocket. It's in the pocket. That's it. There, I can feel you move against my chest. I think I have never felt anything so comforting. Now, how did I get here? How did I come to be living in a soundless, lightless room with a friendly mouse? It's almost laughable, but I've forgotten how to laugh. But think about it. How did I arrive at this place, these circumstances? For that matter, how did I arrive at any of the places, any of the circumstances of my life? I planned, yes. Yes, I made plans. But they never seemed to work out precisely as I planned them. The marriage. It looked all right, but it wasn't quite what I meant. The job. Yes, the job seemed to be a good job, but it wasn't quite what I'd expected. The house. It was a good house. A nice house. But not quite... Oh, are you coming out of my pocket now, Mr. Mouse? You had enough? Huh? Hey, what are you doing? Are you trying to get inside my shirt? What for? What do you want? Oh, I know. To be close to me is that... Ow! Hey, what was that? What did you do? You know, I felt something... Oh, there it is again. Hey, I think you're pulling out the hairs on my chest. Is that what you're doing, Mr. Mouse? Ah, yes, you are. Now, why? Why would you do that? Not to hurt me. I know you would never hurt me. Are you playing? Are you making up a game trying to divert me from the awfulness? Yes, you're telling me it could be worse. There are things we can do. There is always something. It is never absolutely hopeless. Oh, little mouse, you're trying to make me laugh.
I gave him an apple today.
If you want to play the game that way, I can't stop you.
He ate every bit of it. There wasn't a thing left on the plate. No core, nothing.
I wonder how he manages to keep up his appetite.
Maybe he exercises.
After this long, they lose interest.
Yes. After all, what's the point?
Hope can't last forever. It's got to die, sooner or later.
Well, with this one, it looks as if it's going to be later.
Yes, but eventually.
What makes him hang on?
I wish I knew. I'd give anything to know.
It's darn near 2 weeks.
2 weeks tomorrow.
Should I go in after him?
No. Now, wait a while longer. He can't last.
You're sure about that?
No one ever has.
It's only breadcrumbs today. Sorry, Mr. Mouse. Hey, where are you? Mouse? Mouse, I have breadcrumbs for you in my pocket. Now, where are you? Are you here? Why don't you come when I call you? Now, there's no place to go in this blackness. I can't look for you. I might hurt you. Now, why don't you come when I call you? I have food for... Oh, what a fool I am. You've gone out of the black room. You've escaped. But where? How? There must be a place. Yes, you haven't always lived in this room. You came in at some point, and now you've gone out. But where? How? There must be a place, a little place, a tiny hole. Yes, a tiny hole big enough for a mouse to get through. Now, where? Where? You don't live here all the time. The black room isn't your only home. I mean, not your permanent home. You wouldn't pick a place like this. No mouse would do that. Nobody would do that. No, you came here from somewhere else. You must have. There must be a hole someplace. And you came through that hole, and you've gone out through that hole, and I'm going to find it. What's this? Is this it? Oh, that's so tiny. That's so tiny. Is that a hole? A hole just big enough for a mouse to slip through? Yes, I think it is. Then on the other side, there must be something. The blasted hole is right next to the floor. It's no bigger than my thumb. Oh, I can't get my face up to it. Yes, I can. I see. I see a light. I see light. A very little light. Oh, thank you. Thank whoever you are for this little bit of light. And what's happening? What's happened to the light? There's still a little, but there's something gray, something milky gray. What? It's my mouse. He's on the other side of the hole. I'm looking into the small gray eye of my friend. Oh, Lord, it's too much. Who could think of such a thing? Who could think that I would be straining at a mouse hole, bent almost double? to look into the eyes of my friend, the mouse. It's too much. It's too much. I can't comprehend. What is there to do? What is there to do but laugh?
He's off his feet. Hardly ate anything the last few days.
So, it's starting.
What's starting?
The decline. I knew it would, sooner or later.
I think I'll give him some fruit next time.
I really don't know why you want to bother.
Maybe some cheese, too.
Suit yourself.
Look, the idea was never to starve the poor fool. If that was the idea, I wouldn't give him anything at all.
He's beginning to starve himself.
Can he do that?
It's simple. Stay away from food and water. You'll be gone in a few days.
No kidding.
Animals know that.
Well, I never knew it.
There's lots of things animals know that men don't know. Especially you.
If I could cry. But there's a place beyond crying. Yes, there's a despair too deep for crying. Here, in the dark and the silence, there's nobody. Not a creature is stirring, not even a mouse. I can't laugh either. I think my life is closing. What? Oh, you're back. You're back, are you? You're in the pocket of my shirt. Well, I have some cheese and part of a pear. You'll have to come to me if you want it. No, I can't look for you again. I just don't care anymore. I just don't care. I don't care anymore.
We all know it, but nobody says it. The drama of life is not in battles or elections or crimes or even in love affairs. The drama of life takes place in the dark, silent soul of every man or woman who has had the luck or the misfortune to live. We'll be back shortly with Act 3.
There's nothing wrong with drinking Budweiser sip by sip, is there? Well, the brewers of Budweiser think there's a better way. Sipping's fine if you're drinking wine. But Bud is the king of beers, a hearty drink. Look, rinse a 10 or 12 ounce glass with cold water. Then open a can or bottle of Bud and pour it right down the middle so it kicks up a good head of foam. Now, take a big drink and then swallow big. No sips. That's how it should be done. More taste, more beer drinking enjoyment. Thanks to exclusive Beechwood aging, Budweiser has a smoothness that lets it go down especially easy. Sure, it's an expensive way to brew beer, but brewing beer right does make a difference. That's why, when you say Budweiser, you've said it all. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
From 17 to 25, young minds are so alive. They see things that others may not see. College is the place they learn the things they'll need when it's their turn to show the way to you and me. College is a place where the future of America is being built right now. But colleges are in financial trouble, and they need all the help that you and I can give them. The dollars you give to the college of your choice are an investment in America's most important asset, the minds of her children. So please, give to the college of your choice now. From 17 to 25, young minds are so alive. A public service message of this station and the Advertising Council.
I just don't care anymore. These words were spoken by our nameless protagonist a few minutes ago, and I suppose they are the saddest words anyone can utter. I just don't care anymore. The struggle is over. Life is over when we just don't care anymore.
He hasn't eaten anything for 2 days.
Oh?
Last thing he ate was that pear that was 2 days ago.
He's starting down the slide.
You sound as if you enjoy this.
I don't.
I think it's terrible, really terrible.
It's necessary.
I don't see why. I swear I don't.
We need the information, don't we?
But do we absolutely have to have it? I don't see why.
It's the most important information in the world.
I just think maybe it's not worth all this.
It's worth all this and more.
I don't know why.
Look, you're a good fellow. And you're not the stupidest man in the world, or you wouldn't be my deputy. But there are certain things that are, let's say, beyond your comprehension. You agree?
I guess so.
You guess so?
I'm sure. I'm sure there are certain things that are beyond my comprehension. Just the same.
Yes? What were you going to say?
How do I know they're not beyond your comprehension, too?
I hear you. Oh, I hear you, but I don't care. Even if I did care, I'm not sure I'm strong enough anymore to go looking for you. There must be food all over the room. Why don't you go look for it? I'm sure the faithful Mr. K has been leaving it, and I haven't eaten any for a long time. So, stir yourself and go look for it. Huh? You want me to bring it to you? Well, that's rough. Those days are over, my friend. I loved you. Do you know that? I really did. I thought you loved me in your own little mousy way, but you didn't. I was just somebody to feed you. That's all. Well, our friendship has come to an end. Mr. Mouse, as all things come to an end.
He isn't drinking any water either.
That's too bad.
You feeling sorry for him by any chance?
Now, don't start up with me, Kay.
It's not like you to go soft.
I'm not going soft. It's just that...
Yes? What?
I don't know why exactly, but I had such high hopes for him. That he'd be different somehow. I really had very high hopes for that man. Well, maybe one day I'll learn. Nobody survives the Black Room. Absolutely nobody.
All right, one more time. One last time I'll look for you. I'll bring you the cheese and the pear. My legacy to you, Mr. Mouse. My last salute, Mr. Mouse. Morituri te salutamus. Well, why wouldn't you come to me? You used to come to me. Why did you stop? You knew I needed you, that's why. I needed you more than you needed me. And when that happens... After all, you had a way out of the Black Room, and I didn't. Where is that little hole of yours, Mr. Mouse? I found it once. Where is that? I'd like to see the light once more before the darkness closes in. Where is the little mouse hole? Is this it? Is it? Yes. Oh, I'm much too weak. I can't get my eye to it. I've forgotten how hard it was. I can't... There it is. The beautiful light. That little sliver of light. A lovely light. Yes, I'm a A little stronger now. I'll find you. Just keep talking, Mr. Mouse. I'll find you. I think I'm nearer. Just keep talking and I'll find you. You sound very loud. I must be close. Or is it because my hearing has become sharper? Does that happen? Does the hearing become sharper when there's nothing to hear? Ah, yes, you're very near now, very near. I think I can reach out and touch you. Ah, no! No! Oh, no, that didn't happen. I won't believe it. It happened. I won't believe that I reached out my hand and you bit me. I won't believe that. Not that, no. Oh. But it's true. Yes, it's true. There's no end to it. There's no end to the shocks and the suffering and the cruelty and the horror. No end to it. When you think you've borne it all, there's more and more and more.
How is he?
Not eating, not drinking, nothing.
Too bad.
I think it's time to go in.
You think he's alive?
I don't know. He could be, I guess.
Okay. Go on in.
I hate this part.
Oh, Mr. K.
Yes?
If he should be alive, by some chance, and if he should be even remotely in his right mind...
Oh, I doubt that, Mr. Z.
I know, but if he should be, take him upstairs and let him take a shower. Let him shave, give him some clean clothes, and bring him down here to me.
That's it. If he's alive and in his right mind.
Well, there's always a chance.
Why did you bite me? I meant you no harm. Why did you turn on me? Explain that to me. I need to know this one thing before I die. Here, look. Here's what I brought you. See? 3 little pieces of cheese. And I'll put them down right here. You know what? Do you know what? I could kill you if I wanted to, but I don't want to. Now, for a little while, you kept me from going mad. And for that, I'm grateful. Yes. So, go on. Go on, bite me if you want to. I won't mind. Go ahead. You're not saying anything, Mr. Mouse. Are you still here? Or did you run away? Did you run to your mouse hole? Did you run through to the other side to live in the light, in the beautiful light? Or are you still here? Why don't you say something? What's this? Is that you? Is this your little furry body? Huh? Yes. Wait, no. No. What is that? Oh, no. Oh, that can't be. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why? Why, you're not Mr. Mouse at all. You're Mrs. Mouse. You're Mother Mouse. 4, 5, baby. 5? How many? Oh. Yes, you were afraid I might hurt them. That's why you bit my hand. Yes, I understand. But now you trust me. Now you know. Oh, Mother Mouse. My beautiful little Mother Mouse. My dear friend. Do you know I'm crying again? And my tears are falling on you and on your children. What?
I came to get you.
What?
Come on. You can see your way to the door, can't you?
Yes.
Well, come on. Nothing like a shave and a shower, am I right? I think you've lost a little weight, a few pounds. Oh, here. I brought you some clean socks. I hope they're the right size. I had to guess. You care to weigh yourself? There's some scales over there.
Oh, thank you.
The rations were pretty thin, I know that. How did you like the fruit?
What?
The fruit I left for you, and the cheese. Did you like it?
Very much.
I thought you would. Hey, don't put that shirt back on. I brought you a clean one. Here, I think it'll fit.
Thank you.
Now give me your old one and I'll throw it out.
Don't touch that shirt.
Huh?
Keep your hands off that shirt.
You want to save it? It's pretty dirty.
I want to save it.
I'll wash it for you.
No, leave it alone.
You want it the way it is?
Just the way it is.
If you say so. Well, you ready?
Yes.
Let's go visit Mr. Z. He's dying to talk to you.
You look rather well. Surprisingly well. Please, sit down. I'm glad to see you.
Are you really?
Yes, really. Very glad. You've no idea how glad. It's been, let's see, 26 days. That's remarkable. Truly remarkable. Tell me something, if you can. How did you do it? How does a man survive 26 days in the Black Room? Can you tell me? I really want to know. What does a man need to have to come out of there intact?
He needs to care for some living soul.
That's all he needs?
He needs to care a lot.
That's all? Just that?
That and a little light.
You're very tired, aren't you?
Yes.
It's been quite an ordeal.
Oh, yes.
We'd like to give you a complete physical examination before you go, if you don't mind.
I can go?
Also a psychiatric testing.
And then I can go?
One other thing.
Oh. And what's that?
After we've completed the examinations, would you be so kind, sir, as to address a few words to the membership? Not a long speech. We wouldn't expect that. But if you'd expand a little on what you've told me here.
Now, wait a moment. What membership?
Don't you know?
Well, how am I supposed to know?
I thought you'd guess.
Is this a club? Some kind of a cult?
Not precisely a club. Certainly not a cult.
Well, then what is it? Who are the members?
People in trouble. Troubled people.
But that's practically everybody.
Quite so. Yes. Will you talk to them, sir? They'd be ever so grateful. Then you can go home.
Where do you live? Main Street? Lakeshore Drive? Mulberry Lane? Park Place? Lenox Avenue? Corner of 4th and Walnut? 3 miles out on Route 7? Come now. You know better than that. You may hang your hat anywhere at all, but you live in the black room of your own mind. I'll be back shortly.
If you take a look at the 1975 cars, you'll notice a European influence, and there are some new American cars that rival the Europeans, one being Buick's new Skylark SR, with its touring car interior and spirited little V6 engine. But don't think of the Skylark SR as a European tourer. We're proud of the fact that it's a Buick. You will be, too.
Buick, dedicated to the free spirit in just about everyone.
A variety of assistance is available to the blind. Rehabilitation and library services can be had in every part of the nation. Cash payments for the needy and training in skills and techniques. You can help. For information, contact your local affiliate of the National Federation of the Blind or write me, Kenneth Jernigan, President, National Federation of the Blind, 218 Randolph Hotel Building, Des Moines, Iowa, 50309.
Has our little story depressed you? Made you unhappy? I hope not. And if it has, I'm sorry. I'd like to leave you with a piece of gentle advice. As long as you must live in the black room at the center of yourself, get to know it. Know it well. It will frighten you, yes, but it will reward you, too, in ways you would hardly believe. Our cast included Larry Haynes, George Petrie, and Peter Collins. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown.
Now, a preview of our next tale. What is the whole contract?
That while a person owns this dark imp in the bottle, any request that concerns money, gold, or wealth, no matter how unreasonable, will be satisfied. And that to dispose of this creature and its spell, you must sell it for less than your original price.
Oh, here. $7.40.
$5 is enough.
Okay. Cheap at nearly half the price.
Oh, think first, Barry, think. Remember, it will keep you rich as long as you live. But remember, too, if you do not sell it for less than you paid for it before you die, your soul will surely rot in hell for eternity.
Radio Mystery Theater was sponsored in part by Anheuser-Busch Incorporated, Brewers of Budweiser, and Buick Motor Division. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams.
Beth Meyerson. Like many of you, I've been excited by Israel's achievements, especially by what it is doing for people. People like you and
Ithaca. Here in Ithaca.
CBS News. Former President Nixon is listed in critical condition in a California hospital. I'm Jim Kilpatrick reporting on the CBS Radio Network. Mr. Nixon underwent surgery early this morning for the insertion of a plastic clip to block the troublesome further movement of a blood clot. Doctors described the operation as a success and earlier said Mr. Nixon was in good condition. However, some 6 hours after the surgery, complications developed. Harold Dow has details from the latest medical bulletin.
At 12:45 this afternoon, former President Richard Nixon suddenly went into vascular shock. A team of physicians and intensive care nurses administered counter-shock measures for 3 hours until a stable vascular condition was once again restored. According to the bulletin, the cause of this serious complication was in all probability due to some bleeding behind the stomach wall lining. The medical report goes on to say that replacement of blood loss and relaxation of anticoagulant therapy was instituted at 5 p.m. this evening. The vascular stability is still being maintained. He remains in intensive care and is still in critical condition. Harold Dow, CBS News, Los Angeles.
A hospital spokesman is meeting now with Nixon aides and is expected to make additional statements after the meeting. Hospital authorities delayed releasing the information on Mr. Nixon's worsening condition for almost 6 hours. The Associated Press science editor says the medical shock that put former President Nixon in critical condition tonight means a collapse of blood circulation. Small arteries lose the ability to push freshened blood to all parts of the body. Treatment of Mr. Nixon's kind of shock usually involves giving massive blood transfusions. One physician told the Associated Press Mr. Nixon was particularly susceptible to excessive bleeding because he has been given anticoagulant drugs to prevent formation of new clots and dissolve old ones. Muhammad Ali has regained the World Heavyweight Boxing Championship by knocking out George Herman in the 8th round of their title fight in Zaire. More CBS News after this.
I'm Art Linkletter. I believe in close family ties. You know, one way to make it happen is for the whole family to play games together, particularly Milton Bradley games. You know, I've been working with Milton Bradley for over 15 years, so I know they make games the whole family can enjoy. Like Memory, the game that tests your memory skills by locating and matching cards. And then there's Password, the fascinating word association game. And Concentration, which requires a lot of concentration to match numbered slides. Both Password and Concentration are based on famous TV shows, and both are now out in brand new editions. Games that teach, games that have exciting play value. They're the kind Milton Bradley has always made. That's why I so wholeheartedly recommend Memory, Password, and Concentration for your family. And all the other fine Milton Bradley games. They'll give many, many hours of enjoyment and maybe even help bring the family a little closer together.
President Ford returns to Washington within the hour. He spent the day campaigning in his hometown of Grand Rapids, Michigan, where he learned of former President Nixon's condition. Robert Pierpoint reports.
After enjoying a rousing welcome back to his hometown and delivering a hard-hitting political speech on behalf of Republicans here, President Ford was given the bad news about the critical condition of Richard Nixon. The president then issued a brief statement declaring, "I am deeply concerned about the former president's health, and I pray for his complete recovery." Earlier, the president and Mrs. Ford had sent flowers to the hospital in Long Beach, California, where Mr. Nixon is being treated. Asked if President Ford plans to change his plans for a campaign trip to California this coming Thursday in view of the illness of his predecessor, a White House aide said that he knew nothing of any such changes. Robert Pierpoint, CBS News, with the presidential party in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Queen Elizabeth told the British Parliament today the Labour government plans to nationalise key industries, including aviation and oil, in a socialist bid to revive Britain's economy. The Queen's address, written for her by Prime Minister Wilson's cabinet, said a National Enterprise Board will be proposed to direct the resurrection and reorganisation of British industries. More after this.
Give your hand to a friend. Give your heart to your love, but give your cold to contact. The sooner the better.
A common cold is a rotten thing. You miss so much. Sneezing, drips, and congestion can drag you down. Then ask yourself the contact question. 6 or 3 or 1. You'd need 6 cold tablets, 2 every 4 hours, or 3 ounces of Cold's liquid, 1 every 4 hours, or just 1 contact for up to 12 hours continuous relief of those symptoms. That's daytime, then nighttime relief. Both the others have things for aches and fever, and the liquid, something for coughs. Not found in Contact 600 Tiny Time pills.
Give your cold to contact.
6 or 3 or 1. Take Contact. Only as directed.
Recapping the top sports news, Muhammad Ali, rated a heavy underdog, knocked out champion George Foreman with a right to the head in the 8th round tonight to win the World Heavyweight Championship in a stunning upset. The 32-year-old Ali became only the second boxer in history to regain the heavyweight title. The victory comes 14 years to the day he began a pro boxing career. Jim Kilpatrick, CBS News.
This is Jeff Stone, WHCU News. Democratic candidate for U.S. Senator in New York, Ramsey Clark, was the featured speaker tonight at the Tompkins County Democratic Committee dinner. One of the topics which Clark addressed was the practices of the oil companies.
I favor comprehensive, sensitive price and wage control. It makes me very angry to hear about older people eating dog food in America. And if it doesn't make this country angry, we have lost a piece of our soul someplace along the road. What we have to do is face up to it. Our destiny is in our hands, and we are letting it slip through our fingers because we are not insisting upon faithful adherence to the democratic process.
And the former U.S. Attorney General referred to wage and price controls in calling for what he termed a new commitment to democracy.
When you see the exploitation that the oil industry engaged in during the so-called energy crisis last winter, their profits skyrocketing while our prices skyrocketed, and us doing nothing but complaining, you recognize that America has lost its political will. We don't have to put up with that. In my judgment, that is economic injustice and should be white-collar crime. It doesn't have to happen. We can tax those excess profits. We can roll those prices back if we care.
And now, Mystery Theater.
Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. She is an incredibly imposing figure, Queen Liliolani, last of a pure line of Polynesian royalty, save for the handsome son she faces, nearly eye level to eye level, although Dani Makihini is well over 6 feet. Always a woman of Amazonian proportions, middle age has blown her to gargantuan size and girth, and her anger and emotion is as monumental as the rest of her.
Marry a Howley? I'd as soon see you dead.
Oh, come on, Mother. It's the 20th century, and Hawaii is a state, not a monarchy.
The Polynesian and the American Indian are two of a kind. Two civilizations pirated, their lands raped and stolen, their countries plundered, and their people sold into virtual slavery.
You should be running for the Senate.
I should be making powder and cleaning my gun. For of all the Haolis on this island, the most repressive, imperialist, surrogate king is Carter Bradley. And my son will marry his daughter only over my body.
Mother, I've never seen you like this. You're always so reasonable.
You are betrothed to Taormina.
We haven't really seen each other for over 7 years. She's more like a little sister to me.
I know more than you do, my son. For all your doctor's knowledge, I beg you not to tempt fate. The gods have been angry enough for years, and my inner senses tell me what you plan will bring a great auai down upon us. I see a raging disaster already set in being that no human being can stop.
Our mystery drama, Wave of Terror, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Ian Martin and stars Paul Hecht and Carmen Matthews. When she mentioned disaster, Queen Liliolani could not have sensed the extent of the Holocaust, which was to change so many lives. For at the moment she spoke, out of some alluvial fault in the great Alaskan ridge, the earth boiled from its guts like a volcano, throwing up great mountains of lava, displacing trillions of tons of water that formed a great tidal wave, traveling unnoticed beneath the surface, rushing southward at a speed of up to 500 miles an hour towards the first landmass in its way, the islands of Hawaii. 2 days earlier, Dani Makihini and Liz Bradley had gotten off the plane from the States at Hilo Airport. Dani, tall, nut brown. Liz, a blue-eyed, sun-bronzed, typical California girl. God and goddess with a special shine of love. But despite the message of their eyes and their faith and assurance, their homeland has brought them a cloud of uncertainty.
I'll manage somehow, Dani. Dad's tough, but I can usually break him down.
Yeah, so is Mother. I wish I felt as sure of her. She has a genius for getting her own way.
It's a habit of royalty, and we're both children of royalty. Only yours is for real.
So is yours. Mine is just tradition, but yours is force majeure. Mother is a queen by birth. Your father wears his crown by owning half of Hawaii. What makes me unhappy is that I can't bring you the kind of world you're used to, which is only one of the strikes against me as far as your father is concerned.
Now, don't start that bit again. So you're a Kanaka. I'm a Haole. So what? In this day and age.
Nothing stateside. Here in Hawaii...
What's the difference? We're the ones getting married. Supposing they don't give us their blessing. It's up to you and me, isn't it?
Oh, honey, of course, except... maybe I'm still part heathen after all. Without my mother and your father's blessing, I have Now, for all my liberal arts education and medical school, I still can't explain it with anything but a Hawaiian Polynesian word. I have a mea mea.
That's just plain superstition.
No, it's an uneasy feeling. But if it has an explanation, it goes away. Big difference. Welcome home.
Darling, we're borrowing trouble. Let's just go home and face up to our parents, and maybe there won't be anything.
I only want to make it as easy for them as it is for us. I love you.
And I love you. It's as simple as that. So just kiss me a short goodbye, you big worrywart.
When did I have to be asked? What is it?
First rift in the lift. Your ex-rival, Dr. Peter Hughes, is heading straight for us.
How'd he get through customs?
The Bradley name. The key that opens all doors. Funny Dad isn't willing.
He's probably too busy reigning.
What?
Isn't that what a king does all day?
Elizabeth. Danny.
Aloha, Pete. What's the matter with Dad?
Not a thing.
Then why isn't he here to meet me?
He got tied up in some business. Am I such a bad substitute?
Of course not.
I had a feeling I was something of a letdown. By the way, Danny, Queen Lilialani and that exquisite intended of yours, Taormina, are waiting for you outside.
Oh, I'd better make tracks. Mother doesn't like to be kept waiting.
And I'd better get Elizabeth into the helicopter. Mr. Bradley is a little impatient himself.
Will I be hearing from you tomorrow, Liz?
I hope tonight.
I didn't particularly know you knew Danny McAheeney.
Only since I went to college on the mainland.
You seem to have made up for lost time.
What does that mean?
I'm not blind. I saw that. I was going to say farewell kiss, but I don't think that quite characterizes it. However...
Pete, I don't want to talk about Danny right now. I want to talk about what you're avoiding. What is it about Dad?
You're quite right. It's a subject I wish I could avoid.
He's sick. What's the matter? Is it his heart?
No, it isn't anything necessarily fatal for a long time, but...
But what?
Well, I would give anything not to be a doctor, or have been one these past few months, because I have known that magnificent body was letting him down. It's only a shell now.
What do you mean?
Don't let him know I told you, but it can't be hidden much longer. Your father has Parkinson's disease.
Oh, my God. Does that mean he's going to die?
With care, what medication we know has some results. Under normal conditions, no. But there are plenty of symptoms, none of which your father is going to be able to bear.
What symptoms?
In your father's case, mostly muscular. Trembling of the hands, dropping things unconsciously. A rigidity which will inevitably cut down on his normally superactive lifestyle. A marked decrease in his muscular control.
Oh, no. Oh, that can't happen to Dad. What can we do to help?
Some drugs. A fortunate remission in the disease sometimes. Most of all, trying to avoid emotional excitement and fatigue.
Welcome home.
I had to tell you. Especially since...
Why stop now?
I love you, Elizabeth. I'm too old for you, but just the same, I know you're in love with Danny McAheeney, that you want to tell your father so. I'm trying very hard to be as objective as a doctor ought to be. I don't know what any of our futures are destined to be, but I do know that your father's life, not necessarily death, but his life, is probably in your hands at this moment and from here on in.
What's the matter? Don't like me anymore?
I love you, Tal. As a little sister. I always have, and I always will.
But you know meaning of blew out tonight.
Yes, Taormina, and I am ashamed.
Please. I know you want to marry a holy girl.
I can't help myself, little sister. I love her.
The Queen will never allow you.
I need Carter Bradley's consent more than I do my own mother's.
And if you do not get it?
And to hell with the past. We will buy our own future. And nothing and no one can stop us.
Lisbeth!
Daddy!
Oh, you can't know how good it is to see you. Find you more beautiful than ever, and you look just like your mother.
Dad, what are you doing?
I'm stealing a page from Pete's book, but I think I deserve it because you look so like Beth did when I married her. I'm going to carry you over the threshold back home again.
Dad, you shouldn't.
Why not?
Well, I'm not such a little girl anymore.
Oh, nonsense. Light as a feather, which is just what you are. The proudest feather I wear in my cap. I'm sorry, Elizabeth. Did I spill?
No, Dad.
I came a cropper off a new stallion I've been breaking in. My arm's a bit stiff.
You all right?
Oh, now you're home. Oh, I have a few bruises here and there, but I can shake 'em off the moment I see you and Pete happily married. Now you're graduated. Let's make it soon.
Oh, now give the girl a chance to catch her breath, CB.
If I were you, I wouldn't grab her while you can.
Only when Liz wants me.
Now, don't tell me I said something out of line. Typical of me trying to rush things. And this hand is bothering me tonight. We can talk it all out tomorrow. Oh, I can't tell you how good it is to have you home in Waialua again, sweetheart.
I've been waiting to get back myself.
It's a cold old house without your mother. You're my one hope for Waialua's future. And her boys, a lot of responsibility to put on a daughter's shoulders. But since I have no son left, I know you won't fail me.
So this is where you've been hiding out, young lovers. Danny, you should not have stolen Taormina away from the feast.
I was the one to need to speak to Danny alone.
Thanks, Talbot. I can speak for myself.
There are too many words in the world. Let us just thank the gods for what little we have. We are a dying race, my son, but still a proud one. You and Tao can keep us alive. And I thank Oro and Tane and Taora that the moment is almost here.
Almost here?
You are a doctor now. Now, the wedding ceremony need wait no longer. I have set it for the full moon, the night after tomorrow.
Mother, Taormina and I will not be wed.
Tao, is this your wish?
No, but I...
Don't stammer, girl. Answer me.
I will answer you, Mother. I love Tao as a little sister. But I will marry Elizabeth Bradley.
The daughter of Carter Bradley, the Howley?
Yes, Mother.
Never.
I'm sorry, I must. We are in love.
He won't let you.
How can he stop us?
Then I will. If I have to call on all the ancient gods...
Oh, please, Mother, I no longer believe in magic, alui, or any superstitious curse that could harm me or Liz.
No curse or any magic to harm the girl. I have no power for that or second sight. But I tell you this. If you marry this Howley girl, if you tie your life to Carter Bradley's daughter, you end my life. My death will be on your head and hers. I can smell it in the wind. If you insist, in the words of the missionary, you will reap the whirlwind.
Queen Liliolani could have had no specific foreknowledge of the Holocaust in store. Carter Bradley, absolute monarch, whose magnificent physique is betraying him, and whose weakness will lead him back to old sins. None of our characters can yet know the cataclysm of nature which is to affect their lives. I shall return shortly with Act 2. The
great shelf of sub-ocean land that lies off the Aleutian chain of islands is still intact. It is some 48 hours still before the titanic undersea explosion will rend it asunder and create a wave that will rise towering to 90 feet, 20 to 30 feet above the great mansion at Wailua, which spreads along the coral cliffs looking northward to the vast Pacific and the coming terror. On the lanai, facing away from the ocean, Carter is just finishing breakfast as Liz joins him.
Well, now it seems more like home again. Morning, Elizabeth, dear.
Morning, Dad.
You know, I've been sitting here snorting, as impatient as the old warhorse I am. But I couldn't wait. I've finished breakfast. I'll ring for yours.
No, Dad, please.
What's the matter, Princess? You don't feel well?
I wish you wouldn't call me that.
What?
Princess.
Well, it's my old name for you, and I always called you. You don't feel well.
I'm tired, Dad. Long trip, change in time.
Well, you should have slept longer. How about some coffee?
No, thanks.
Juice?
Nothing for the moment. We have things to talk about.
Well, of course we have, but I sort of thought we'd keep that for lunch, huh? I mean, Pete will be here, and don't you think he ought to be part of it?
No, Dad, I don't.
Oh, I don't think that's so fair, Princess. No, all right, if you prefer it, Elizabeth. Why I can't use the old name?
It doesn't fit me, Dad. It's not what I am.
On these islands, and particularly this one, it's what you are, at the very least. If we were to ride to Mauna Kea, way up to the top, you could turn and look north, east, west, and south, and every bit of land you saw would be yours. Or will be someday.
Are you so sure, Dad?
I own it. It's mine, along with a few other things. And when I'm gone, whose else would it be except yours? And Pete's?
I don't really know. I'm not sure it's that important to me. What would happen if I didn't marry Pete?
Didn't? What are you talking about?
Would the Bradley Ranch still be mine? And all that goes with it if I didn't?
Who else would you marry?
I didn't expect you up so early, my son, after the long trip and the luau.
It was a perfect morning for surfing. When the sun rose, I saw those easy rolling 4-footers, and I grabbed my board and took off.
Happy to be home again, in your own land.
Yes, in a sense. Cutting across those waves out there gave me back not only my sense of balance, but just my own plain good sense.
I'm happy to hear that. Then today, we don't quarrel.
That's up to you. My doubts are all gone.
I would hope that you tell me you are talking about Taormina.
Yes, in part.
Yes, you will marry her.
Mother, listen to me. I know your pride in race, in bloodline, your struggle to make sure that it won't die. But when I left Hawaii to go to UCLA, I was 18. Tao was 10, 11 years old. We made the promises, we took the vows, but Tao was too young to know what was involved. I believed then, as you do still, that our heritage and our race must be preserved, but I don't any longer.
You are a Polynesian prince.
No, I am a citizen of the world, Mother. A doctor. Race, creed, color, nationalism, nothing matters to me but that the human body is one and the same thing. The body made strong or weak by exercise and usage, the brain the same, by education or lack of it.
So you will not marry Taormina?
No.
You think Carter Bradley will share your views, accept you as his son-in-law?
I don't know. I'll find that out today.
But if he doesn't?
We are both of age, Mother. He can't stop us.
I wouldn't be too sure of that. And what about me?
I want you to meet Liz, Mother. I think you'll change your mind.
I will meet her. But I shall not change my mind. And what will you do then?
Meet her first before we come to that decision.
When?
Look, I'll take the Jeep into town and call her. Then I'll drive to Waialua, get her, and bring her back.
You're wasting your time.
I hope not. Because I love you. And I want you to love her, too. I'll be back by mid-afternoon.
Great Tani, help me. Help me make my son see that our race, shamed and despoiled and dying out, must have new life bred into it. Only Makahini and Taormina can do it. She's a princess in her own right. Help me, Tani. Help me. Or the smell of doom that comes to me on the wind from the north will come to pass.
Hail, boy. Stable King here and rub him down good. I rode him hard this morning. Ah, hey, Pete.
Morning, CB.
I'm hungry as a bull. Is lunch ready?
Yes. There's a nice breeze off the water, so Chung Lee set the two of us up on the front lanai.
Two of us? Is Elizabeth still sick? Oh, come, let's go through the house. I have to wash up anyway. Where is she? Upstairs?
No, she left quite a bit before I got here. What do you mean, sick?
Oh, she was feeling a little off her feet at breakfast. Left to go where?
Oh, Danny Makahini came by and picked her up. Liz said she'd be back in the late afternoon.
Danny Makahini? Queen Liliolani's son?
Yes.
Oh, I thought he was at medical school on the mainland.
He was. He's graduated. He came back on the same plane with Liz yesterday.
Didn't even know she knew him. But I don't like this about Elizabeth. Is it serious?
In its own way. I was going to let her tell you herself, but maybe as your doctor, it's better if I do it instead.
Oh, come on, man. Come on. Get it out. What is it?
Well, let's sit down for a minute. I want to remind you of your condition and that flying off the handle and losing your temper is the worst thing you can do.
Oh, you pill peddlers, you're all prophets of doom.
Well, if you take the pills I provide, you might put yours off a good deal longer. Now, sit down.
All right, but don't try to change the subject. I want to know why Elizabeth went chasing off with Makahini. Did they go surfing?
Not exactly.
My eyebrows, you're a calm enough lover, Pete. Your fiancée goes herring off with another man her first day back home, even if he is just a Kanaka beach boy, and you just let her go.
First, she left before I got here. Second, he is not a Kanaka beach boy. He's a colleague of mine, a doctor of medicine. And lastly, Elizabeth is not my fiancée anymore.
What? How do you know? Where did you find that out?
Yesterday, when I brought her home.
You turned my daughter down?
No, I should have, really, in the first place. I'm far too old for her.
Oh, rubbish.
Well, I'm not marrying her, CB.
And you're not fooling me one bit, Pete. You're still as much in love with Elizabeth as you've always been. I smell a rat, and I'll bet it's Makahini. Is that it? Is that it? Where did they go?
To see the Queen. I imagine to ask her blessing.
To get married? My daughter and a beach boy?
Now, stop talking about Danny like that. And don't get all worked up. It's bad for you.
Oh, I won't get worked up. First of all, because it's just not going to happen. There'll be no marriage between them, because if she doesn't stop it, I will. By God, if he has much as dares. It's all
right, CB. Now just take it easy. It's only a temporary attack, CB. But this time you are going to take one of my pills.
I'm sorry, my dear. You're a lovely girl. And I can hardly blame Danny. But marriage between you is quite impossible.
Mother, I
haven't finished. There are reasons beyond reasons why it can never be. Your blood is not our blood. Danny is already betrothed to Princess Taormina. The gods are already angered and cannot be angered anymore.
For God's sakes, Mother, it's the 20th century. And you are as intelligent and well-read and educated as any woman I know. Stop acting like some old ignorant witch.
I am acting as I must, because within me are ancient chords which sing of death and certain doom for two people.
Queen Liliolani, I respect your point of view.
Do you respect your father's?
Yes, but I will give you the same answer as I would give him. I love Danny. I'm over 20. Danny is 25. There is no way either of you can stop us. I'd rather it wouldn't be like that. But Danny and I have agreed.
She's quite right, Mother. We'd give anything to have both you and Mr. Bradley with us, but if you're not...
I cannot give my consent. I can only warn you, if you persist, it will end in death and disaster. I have nothing more to say. I am going to pray for all of us.
Well, Liz, we're almost all the way home, and we still haven't decided just how we're going to go about it.
I know, Danny. It's just... I don't think we can rush it. Not right now, because of Dad.
If you want to back out, I'm not holding you to anything.
Oh, darling. Darling, don't do that.
Honey, I hate to get long-winded or go chucking my medical knowledge around, but Parkinson's, I mean, it can and almost always is a long, long process.
He's going to need me. I mean, really need me for the first time in his life.
It's a life that could last another 20 years. Are you asking me to wait that long?
No. No. Because there are other... Oh, Danny, I'm so tired. And I just can't think. And we're home. Give me till tomorrow, at least.
Sure. Of course, darling. It's only, well... I'm under some pressures of my own, and if I can't have you... Well, I won't break my mother's heart or Tal's, and tomorrow night is their night.
I'll talk to Dad tonight. If I can't convince him, we'll be on our own.
Why not let me do it? I'm the one seeking your hand, if not your fortune. I mean, it's up to me.
All right, if you...
What is it?
Pete. He looks as if...
Hello, Danny. Elizabeth.
Where's Dad?
Inside. But, Danny, Liz, if either of you want to talk to him about you, as a doctor, I'd say now isn't the time.
What happened?
I made a judgment. I thought maybe I'd better tell him about you, too. Did Liz tell you about his...
Yeah. Did anything serious happen?
No, Danny. MD to MD, you know how it can go.
Yeah.
He got a bit emotional and suffered some speech impairment. He's all right now, but I wouldn't advise any further.
Yeah, quite right. I'd better duck out fast before he sees me. I'll be in touch tomorrow morning, Liz. Keep your chin up, eh?
Mm-hmm.
No real worries about your dad. Right, Doctor?
Right.
Just us.
This, too, shall pass. I love you. Till tomorrow.
Me too. And forever.
That, too. Aloha.
You sure Dad's all right?
If we can keep off a certain subject, sure.
I don't want... I can't do any more talking about... Oh, Pete, help me, quick.
What is it?
Just something that nobody but me knows about. Yet. I wonder if anyone else will. Ever.
What new factor could enter a hoped-for marriage which already appears to have everything against it? And what is the meaning of Liz's cryptic statement, expressing a knowledge that only she has and no one else may ever know? Is it the same knowledge that Queen Liliuokalani talks of as buried in the past? And if she too knows that ancient gods are to extract penance for buried sins, who are the two that are doomed? Or are more to die in the dreadful natural phenomenon that is at last about to be unleashed 3,000 miles away? I'll return shortly with Act 3. Exactly 8:42 the following morning on the island of Hawaii, two final ultimatums were issued by two irate parents. One of them by Queen Liliuokalani to her son.
The gods have been angry enough for years. My inner voices tell me what you plan will bring a great Aue upon us. I see a raging disaster will be set in being that no human being can stop.
And Carter Bradley to his daughter the next morning, completely recovered through rest and medication for the moment.
Let's get one thing straight, Princess, and don't interrupt me. I use the old name deliberately. On this island, we are the royalty. And I'm warning you one thing right now. Go near that Makahini Kanaka again, or let him come near you and I'll shoot him down like a dog. I mean that, Princess, as God is my witness. No one or nothing can stop me from doing as I want on this island.
Whether it was sheer coincidence or whether gods, ancient or contemporary, took offense, this was the moment the Titanic explosion occurred, hurling trillions upon trillions of tons of water at breakneck speed above the ocean bed. Within 6 hours, it would hit the north shore of the island of Hawaii head on. Whether guided by sheer accident or supernatural design, the devastation it would leave in its wake would be, to say the least, supernatural.
Dad, you can't be serious.
Oh, but I am.
You couldn't do this to me.
I'm doing it for you.
But I love Danny.
Childish romance. If you don't marry Pete, I'll leave everything to him.
I don't need anything. Danny can support me. I can work.
You'll never marry him.
Why are you so set against him?
It should be obvious enough.
Nobody could be that prejudiced, that bigoted.
And to make sure if he comes near here or you again, I will shoot him on sight.
Dr. Hughes?
Pete, it's Dad. He's had some sort of attack or something.
All right, Liz, just slow down. Now tell me what happened. And don't worry, there's no danger.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to be incoherent, but it was just awful to see him and listen to him just spluttering and talking all sorts of nonsense.
I gave him some medication. Did he take it?
Yes. He's gone upstairs to take it. What is it, Pete?
It's part of his illness. The speech impairment is one of the symptoms. Excitement aggravates them. I'll be right out. And let's see if we can figure what to do. I've given him a sedative that'll keep him quiet for a couple of hours. Problem 1 out of the way, temporarily. Now for problem 2. You.
There isn't any problem about me. I've got to tell Danny we're through. I can't marry Danny.
And what about the child?
The child? You know?
Yes.
But how? Well, I'm not even sure myself.
When I gave you the sedative yesterday, I took some blood. There's no doubt about it, Liz. You're pregnant.
Oh, Lord. Now what am I going to do?
You're going to get in the car with me and drive to Tupapahu. If anything can change Queen Liliolani's mind, it's the child.
So you are already carrying Danny's child? And you think that will alter things?
I'm the one who hoped it would.
I won't give up Danny's baby. That's one part of it no one can take from me.
You have courage, little Laoli. More courage than I had.
I wouldn't say that. You know what a difference there is. Danny would want his child. Call him. Get him here and ask him.
I can't.
Why not?
He left an hour ago for Waialua. I'm surprised you didn't pass him.
He must have taken the Jeep over the back road. That's too rough for a car.
For Waialua? Pete, we've got to stop him somehow. Catch up with him.
It's too late for that.
But if he's gone to Waialua and if Father sees him, he'll kill him.
What is all this?
My father, Queen Liliolani. He's promised to shoot Danny on sight. Oh, please, please, can't you help us somehow?
Why should I?
It could be your son's life.
And now, I am made responsible again for another life, another son. How history repeats itself. But it won't again. It's past time for retribution, and the gods are coming to claim it.
What do you mean?
The Mehameha is upon us. I can feel the ripples of it in my soul, the lift of it like a wave. I will call Brad.
Brad?
Your father. Once, he meant everything to me that Danny means to you.
At the moment the Queen lifted the phone, a tanker plowing across the North Pacific lifted ever so slightly on a 5-inch surface swell. That was the only sign of the gargantuan tsunami, the dreadful tidal wave which swept by at the speed of sound, hurtling toward the north shore of Hawaii. There, its monstrous energy would pile up the waters to a height of over 80 feet, driving inland till its force was spent, to be sucked back with such diabolic speed that it would carry away everything in its path.
Yes?
Brad. It's Lil.
Lil? For Pete's sake. How many years?
12, 13.
You sound just the same.
I don't look it. How are you, Brad?
Oh, I don't know, Lil. I'm not the man I once was.
You'll never change. Certainly not for me. I want to ask you one favor.
Now, Lil, if it's about our children,
Brad, have I ever asked one from you before?
Oh, Lord knows you haven't.
It's a matter of life or death. Will you meet me at the grotto?
If you ask me, how can I refuse?
If we both leave this minute, we should arrive in about an hour and a half.
All right, there. It'll be good to see you again.
If you shut your eyes to what I have become, at least it's dark, I'll see you at the grotto. After your mother died, Elizabeth, we were lovers, your father and I. I carried a child of his in my womb. But we were ridden with pride of race, each for his own. It drove us apart. We could never be married. And the child? Well, I thought it was not meant for me to bear a child of mixed race. I said goodbye to your father. And there, in that grotto, in our temple of love, I aborted and destroyed our child. I offended the gods. Listen to me, little Aoli princess. You will have your father's blessing, as you have mine. Remember that. Love my boy. Take care of him. Bear his child. Then Aurora will be with us again. Say goodbye to Danny for me. I cannot urge any longer, Brad. I thought if I at last was willing to accept commingled blood in a child of our families.
I can't help myself, Lil. I am as I am. I cannot accept any child of my daughter's with mixed blood.
And so you want to kill my boy?
Not if he stays away from Elizabeth.
And the child?
Well, that can be taken care of.
He will stop the children. Make history repeat a terrible mistake. Us, all over again.
Lil, I cannot change.
You are changed already. Look at your hands. Shaking now like leaves in the wind.
It's a different matter. I have Parkinson's disease. I told you you'd find a different man.
Not the difference I would have wanted.
Wait a minute. Shh, quiet. Come outside, Lil, quick.
What is it, Brad?
Find. My God, look at it. It's a half a mile below normal. The fish left gasping on the rocks. A tidal bore is on the way, and a big one.
I know. Aurora has been telling me all morning. I could smell the anger of the gods. It's why I called you here.
To die?
We cannot stay in the children's way.
Well, there's still King. On the horse we both might...
This gross old woman. Even at your best, you couldn't hoist me on his back. Even with you alone on his back, it's too late. But I have no right. No, try, Brad. Try, if you can.
Home, King, home. Run like a wind, boy.
You're staying.
We've both been legends in our time, Lil. We wouldn't want to outlive our glory.
I shouldn't have done this to you.
No. I'm burned out, Lil. Thanks for making me realize that I hadn't much further to go. I only wish I've been able to tell Elizabeth. But at the last she had my blessing and my love.
She knows she has both.
My love, yes, but the other, how can she ever know?
I told her so before I left her.
How could you?
Because I knew what I was going to do. And I know you, Brad. Oh, I know you. If ever any woman knew a man.
Oh, Liz, what a fool I was. We both were. But how good to have you back at last.
Tsunami, it's coming at last.
Afraid, Lil?
No, I'm going home. Back to where my roots are. In the sea, to the south. Tower Roar. The sea god will guide me safe. And you,
I go with you as I should have all those years ago.
But you're shaking.
That's what the wave will free me from. The shame of being less than a man. It's all right, Lou. It's as it should be. We couldn't have each other in life. We'll stand together forever in death. Aloha.
The inexorable incoming march of the water did little damage compared to the outgoing surge, which sucked everything into and away with it, like some colossal, unimaginable vacuum cleaner. It left the beach and the inlet stripped clean, and swept Wailua away like so many matchsticks. As far as the eye could see across that northern shore of Hawaii where the wave struck, and as far as the wave penetrated, not a living thing was left. I'll be back shortly. Danny and Liz were married very quietly. There was no formal funeral either for Queen Liliolani or Carter Bradley. Only a memorial service. 2 dynasties were finished, ended, and melded in the 2 young people who never took their loving eyes from each other during the simple wedding service. The close was an exchange between bride and groom in Hawaiian. Aloha. Aloha means hello. Aloha means goodbye. But most of all, it means I love you. For this, after all the terror and Holocaust, turns out to be just that, a love story. Our cast included Paul Hecht, Carmen Matthews, Suzanne Grossman, Gordon Gould, Ian Martin. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams. Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall, your companion on these journeys we take to the outer boundaries of the unknown. Perhaps the greatest unknown of all is not what exists out there in the nether regions of distant space, but that which beats constantly inside each of us, the human heart.
The human heart. It's both a tangible physical organ and also a mysterious, incomprehensible force. Yes, it's the brain that weighs, assays, analyzes. But in the end, it is the heart that decides. And each of us may be surprised by the decision of his heart, because the heart has its own reasons. Our mystery drama, I Must Kill Edna, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Sam Dan and stars Elliot Reed. We are commanded by laws, both human and divine, to tell the truth. But what is truth? If sages, philosophers, and saints have disagreed, what hope is there for us ordinary, modest folk? The ancient Romans actually exempted certain areas of human behavior from the truth. For instance, you didn't have to tell the truth about love. And a famous saying of the times was, the gods laugh at the lies of lovers. And talking about love, we now arrive at that delicate balance of falsehood and truth, from which is drawn all of love's nourishment and sustenance. And to a consideration of Chester Masefield, a lover par excellence. When Chester said to Edna Morrissey, I love you, darling, he was telling the truth, as he saw it, and felt it, and wished it on that particular day. But let the story tell itself. You must listen to me, Edna.
Darling.
Yes, darling, my darling Edna.
Chester.
No, don't tell me to stop.
Be sensible.
Why? Why should I be sensible?
Because...
Why should I be sensible? Why be prejudiced against me? Who else in this mad world is sensible?
Chester, please be serious.
My darling Edna. Ah, you live in a universe filled with fools and madmen.
Oh, Chester.
No, you must permit me my say.
But a marriage between you and me, it's impossible.
Why?
We've been through it.
Why?
I'm older.
This match was arranged in heaven. I need an older woman. You need a younger man.
I don't need a man who will...
How do you know? You never had one. I had to say that, Edna.
Why? It isn't true. I've been married.
To whom? To a dried-up, decrepit, doddering
old... He was a soul of goodness. The spirit of generosity.
I'll give him all that. But he wasn't much good for a woman.
Certain things are more important than the fleeting physical attraction.
Darling Edna, you can say what you like, and you can like what you say, but it's a life. We human beings were made for one thing and one thing only, and that's love.
Oh.
Everything else merely fills the rest of the time.
Oh, Chester, can't you ever be serious?
I'm always serious. I'm tending to the serious business of life, which is love. You're the frivolous one, frittering away your time with all sorts of ridiculous projects.
Oh.
I believe you call them good works.
Surely even you must be aware that there are people who are starving.
Ah, but I'm wise to you, darling. I know why you engage in these frenetic philanthropies.
Do you?
You're only trying to whitewash your father.
My father was kind and good.
To you alone in all the world, but he sweated and swindled and stole his fortune from the poor, from the helpless, from the ignorant.
That's a vicious...
Now, careful, don't say lie. But that was a long time ago, and nobody cares. No one remembers. You don't have to give it back.
Oh, Chester, what am I going to do with you?
Marry me.
But it simply doesn't make sense.
Darling, please stop objecting so much. Come here.
Oh, Chester.
You see, my darling, nothing could ever be more important than this. Do you agree?
I'm not sure. Let's try it again.
And so, we were married. Edna, of course, was deliriously happy, and I was happy too. It was an exciting, a heady experience for each of us. For Edna, it was an introduction to love. For me, it was an introduction to wealth.
There are, after all, very few men in our society whose wives are millionaires. And I had joined this extremely select group. And I tell you, there's nothing like it. However, there was the matter of some of her charities. But if we could have everything we want here on earth, there'd be no point in going to heaven after we die, would there?
And this, my darling, is our newest building here on Animal Farm.
I see.
It's a serpentarium.
A what?
A serpentarium. A house of snakes.
How fascinating.
Yes. Poor, maligned, and misunderstood creatures. Come. Would you like to see them?
Well,
Oh, they're all secure behind glass.
In that case...
These are called pit vipers. That's because they have that indentation between the eye and the nose.
Fascinating.
These are all rattlesnakes and copperheads.
Charming creatures.
They are. Lovely, graceful, elegant. And yet mankind will soon exterminate them completely.
Now, darling, is that bad?
Oh, my dear, you're such a barbarian. I love them. They're beautiful, cool, and pleasant to the touch.
My dear, you don't touch them.
I've been told that they won't harm you
Yes?
if there is neither hate nor fear in your heart.
Is it all right if I never touch them?
Oh, Chester, darling. I know you're laughing at me.
I'm doing no such thing. I believe everything you're telling me.
You lie so beautifully. You think I'm a nut. And all these activities of mine...
Oh, I approve of them completely.
They bore you stiff.
No. As a matter of fact...
I didn't marry you in the hope of changing you. Why don't you drive to town today? Have lunch at your club. Do something you like. And you'll come back refreshed.
Are you sure you can spare me?
No. But I'll get through the day. Somehow.
Chester Macefield.
Why, it's Fred.
I thought you'd given up the club for good.
I've been in the country these past few months.
Join me for lunch?
Of course.
I understand congratulations are in order.
Thank you.
Here, she's a lovely woman.
Thank you again.
And money doesn't hurt either.
That is a low blow.
There are no low blows among old friends, only bitter truths.
She's 50, and in what we could consider the soft September of her beauty. I'm 40, and I've decided to retire.
From what?
From love.
From love?
Precisely.
Well, how does one retire
Ever
from
since
love?
I found out that we were boys and they were girls, love has been my occupation, my preoccupation, my profession. Other men would say, I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, a banker, but I would say, I'm a lover.
Well, I suppose you were at that.
Now I realize that love simply does not exist. It's a snare, a delusion, a swindle.
This from you, Chester the lover?
The oasis of love is merely a mirage. I will no longer pursue it. But it was always a lie, a lovely lie. Well, since love doesn't exist, I've decided to settle for happiness.
You sound as if the two are mutually exclusive.
Perhaps they are.
Mr. Caswell?
Oh, my goodness, I had forgotten all about you.
The doorman said you'd be in the dining room, and I said, well, I don't know if I should really interrupt Mr. Caswell when he's discussing important business.
Have you had your lunch?
Well,
An aspiring young actress should never turn down a meal. Even if you had lunch, eat again. You may be out of luck tomorrow.
Oh, really, Mr. Caswell? You're so kind.
Yes, I know. Chester, this is Sue Ellen Quackenbush. Mr. Macefield, Sue Ellen.
Hello, Sue Ellen.
Are you a theatrical producer, too, Mr. Mason?
No, he can't do you any good at all. Turn it off, Sue Ellen.
Oh, isn't he terrible, Mr. Mason?
Her father saved my life before she was born, a couple of wars ago. Now, this one wants to be an actress, so he sends her to see me. For old time's sake, can I do something?
Well, he did save your life.
There is too much to ask in return.
But you are a famous producer, Fred.
Oh, what am I going to do with you, Sue Ellen? She's a lovely child, but she can't act for being.
I'm not a child. I'm 23.
Let's order lunch. Now, what would you like, Sue Ellen?
Well, what is this? Beef bourguignon. Did I pronounce that right? I took a year of French in high school.
She looked up from the menu as she spoke, and her eyes met mine. And the very words I had spoken but a few moments before exploded in my brain. That sudden, stabbing shock of recognition when the heart is fatally, but oh so sweetly wounded by a woman's glance. Is this how it happens? Have I been stabbed finally and at length and for the first time in my life by a provincial schoolgirl struggling with French words on a menu?
And le soup onion avec croutons and fromage and the calf au lait. Well, I must say, this is an elegant apartment. I mean, it's like the movies. Is it yours?
Oh, yes.
That car and this place? Oh, you must be a very wealthy person, Mr. Macefield.
Chester.
Chester? We have some folks in Talbot Corners who are well off, you know, but no one who's actually wealthy.
May I fix you a drink?
Oh, you don't have to fix my drink. Just open a bottle of pop. Well, here we are.
Yes, here we are.
And isn't it just like a book? A simple girl from the country in this luxurious millionaire's apartment. It's like a movie I saw at the Ritz, where they had this...
Sue Ellen.
Yes?
Please, shut up.
Mr. Macefield.
I have something to tell you. I love you.
Mr. Macefield.
Chester.
Chester?
I fell in love with you. The only way people can really fall in love. At first sight. Sue Ellen, please, now say something.
Why? I don't know what to say. Look at me. They'd never believe it back home. Sue Ellen at a loss for words. But this is... Well, it's...
I know. It's crazy. I'm twice your age.
It's just...
Don't say it's impossible.
Oh, no,
It's
just...
what?
I just don't know what it is. Because, well, you see, I also fell in love with you.
Hello, darling. Am I late for dinner?
No, dear. As master of this house, dinner must wait your pleasure.
I'm starved. Say, did I see Hallowell's car on the road?
Yes, I'm sure you did.
What was he doing here?
I wanted to sign over some property to you.
Oh, now, darling.
Well, not very much, just some income. So that you don't have to ask me for money. I think it must be embarrassing for a man.
Oh, darling, I don't think it's right for you to...
Nonsense. Tell me, did anything interesting happen to you in town?
No. It was a rather dull, boring, prosaic day. After all, I wasn't with you.
True, this may sound like the worst kind of male chauvinism, but could a man ask for a better deal? A young girl for excitement and romance, a mature woman for stability and financial independence. Sounds great. Looks good. But the problem with a structure of this kind is that the foundations rest on quicksand. Something will have to give. For some people, life is a quest, a pursuit of a goal. There are those dedicated souls who search for the great truths of science, of medicine. noble spirits who strive to make the world better for their having been here. For years, Chester Macefield has also been a seeker, but his aim has been far more modest. He has been looking for love, for someone he could adore with his heart and soul. Well, aren't we all? And Chester finally found her. And as you can imagine, Chester is deliriously happy. However, there are lucid moments when Chester is reminded of the fact that he is a married man.
But you could get tickets, Chester, honey.
Sue Ellen, that isn't the point.
Oh, it's such a good show and all, and the acting is, well, it's just marvelous. And if I don't get to see good acting, how am I ever going to learn how to be an actor?
Sue Ellen, I can't take you to the theater.
Well, for heaven's sakes, why not?
I just couldn't afford to take the risk.
I know what. Take me to Loricchio's for supper.
Oh, I'll do better than that. I'll have Loricchio's send supper here.
What?
A specially catered supper.
Oh, but that isn't the same thing. You don't go to Loricchio's just to eat. You go there to be seen and talked about and photographed by the media.
That's exactly why I can't take you.
But I have to be seen. I want to get my name in the papers. I need publicity. That's how I can get an acting job.
Darling,
Well, I mean, you know, it just gets to be a drag sitting around here all the time.
I love you, Sue Ellen. Please, believe I love you.
Well, I'd maybe believe it if...
If what?
If you divorced her, married me.
I want to do that, Sue Ellen. You don't know how much I want to do that.
Well, what's stopping you?
If I left Edna, I wouldn't have a nickel.
Oh, it's her money.
Yes.
Well, what are you going to do, Chester, honey?
I don't know. But I know this. I simply can't do without you.
I know, Chester, honey. I know. You'll think of something.
Morning, Mr. Macefield.
Oh, good morning, Arnold. Have you seen Mrs. Macefield?
Yes, sir. She's over at over at Snake House.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, sir. Sure goes for them snakes. I mean, I've been working for that woman, must be 20 years now. I never seen nothing like this.
What do you mean, Arnold?
Well, I guess she found what she's been aching to support all her life. True underdog. Genuine loser. Somebody nobody loves. That's a snake, hands down.
Well, as you know, my wife is a most tender-hearted woman.
Oh, she's a saint. I bless her. But
what's that?
Well, I think you should talk to her.
About what?
Well, how could I put this? There's a big rattler. Well, they do come large, some of them, but he's just overgrown.
Well, what about him?
They ain't getting bit by a rattler, no peckneck, but it don't necessarily have to be fatal. You follow this?
I can't say that I do.
Well, on the other hand, this ugly critter's got fangs at least twice the normal length. You know, one chew out of them and...
But what does this have to do with...
She's taking a fancy to this varmint. She says to me, oh, Arnold, he's so beautiful. If only I could pet him. So, well, maybe you better talk to her.
Maybe I'd better.
Yeah, well, after all, she's the only woman.
Edna, darling.
Chester. Oh, I didn't hear you come in.
What are you doing here? Arnold tells me you spend almost all your time in this place.
I simply can't take my eyes away from Nijinsky.
Nijinsky?
I've named him Nijinsky after that famous, I should say immortal dancer.
I know.
The one who went mad.
Yes.
It's my name for him because his movements are like a ballet. Would you agree?
Oh, yes.
I've made Nijinsky the star of the Serpentarium. He has this huge cage, all to himself. I notice you're dressed for town. Are you going to the city today?
Yes, dear.
Oh. That'll be the third time this week.
Well,
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. It sounded as if I were counting.
Oh, some people at the club want my advice on a venture.
I have the right to tell you to stay at my side all day. You should have a rich, productive life of your own.
Oh, darling, I owe these men a favor.
No, you just go ahead. Is it a promising venture?
Oh, well, it could be.
If you need any money, let me know.
Oh, darling, you shouldn't be so good to me.
Why not? I love you.
Come in, Angel. It's open.
Darling.
Oh, it's you. Chester.
Well, of course, Chester. Oh, that's a stunning outfit. You didn't have to get all dressed up for me.
Well, I couldn't very well call you at your home now. Could I? I mean, what could I have said?
Well, why would you call me?
Well, to tell you that I couldn't see you tonight.
What do you mean you couldn't see me? Hey, baby, it's the man himself. Oh.
Perry Wilson, I would like you to meet Mr. Chester Mayfield.
Oh, how do you do, sir? How do you do?
Perry Wilson is the son of Angus Wilson, who's my dad's dearest, closest friend back home in Talbot Corners. Well, Perry and his mother and dad are here in town, and they want me to have dinner with them at the hotel. Sort of like old times at home. Isn't that right, Perry?
Oh, yeah, dinner, and, afterwards we're going to play bridge.
That's right. But you can't be my partner, Perry. You always get so mad when I forget which is trump. It's really only a game, and you make such an issue about it.
I don't know where you get that flightiness from, Sue Ellen. Your folks are such serious people. Shall we be going? Mother and Dad, they like to be prompt.
Yes, I know.
Well,
Perry, would you call your mother and Dad and say we're on the way?
Oh, yeah, sure, of course. It's good thinking. Sue Ellen.
I couldn't help this, Chester, honey.
I must see you tonight. I'll wait for you here.
Oh, but, honey, I don't know...
Please, darling.
Oh, sweetie, it's going to be late. And I'm going to be tired and upset. Because the Wilsons always give me a pain. Especially Perry. He's so conceited.
Darling,
We can be together tomorrow night. Tomorrow? Why, that's only just a few hours away.
Sue Ellen, I love you.
And I love you too, Chester.
Well, if it isn't Dante, then how's Beatrice?
Cut it out.
Mind if I sit here?
You're a member of the club.
What are you doing dining alone?
What's that smirk on your face?
Oh, I don't know. These May and December romances always inspire smirks, leers, winks.
What are you talking about?
Miss Sue Ellen Quackenbush. I understand you see quite a bit of her.
I'm interested in her career.
A fatherly interest, no doubt.
She's a talented young lady.
Yes, and her talent seems to be in getting men interested in furthering her career. Chester, you're talking to me.
See here, Fred, I resent...
Now, drop it. I thought we were friends. But if you want to fill the time with trivia, let's talk about the weather.
Fred.
Chester, I remember what it's like to be 40. The age of anxiety. But it passes.
I don't know what I'm going to do about her.
She's a tough little cookie.
Now, see here.
Okay, let's talk trivia. Chester, people are beginning to talk.
I'm not interested in other people's hypocritical notions of morality. I don't care if they disapprove.
Oh, they won't disapprove. What they will do is worse. They'll laugh. You're starting to become a ludicrous figure.
I know.
Now, you can't afford that, not you, Chester.
Thanks, Fred. Thanks.
That's what friends are for, no?
Darling?
Chester, I thought you were staying in town.
Oh, a change in plan.
Oh, what happened? Let me turn off the television.
No, leave it on. Oh, I just became bored with the city and decided to come home. Tell me about your day.
Oh, you'd only laugh at me. Tell me about yours.
Oh, you'd only laugh at me.
Well, I spent the day being hypnotized.
Oh? By whom?
By Nijinsky. I can just watch him for hours.
I see.
Have you been here before?
What are you watching now?
Oh, I don't know. The television was on just while I was reading. I think it's one of those celebrity programs.
Oh, it's at Laricchio's restaurant.
Have you ever been there?
It's an old camping ground of mine.
Everybody, welcome to Laricchio's, where you meet the stars of yesterday, today, and even tomorrow.
If you like.
And let's see who's here tonight. Oh, who is this breathtaking little blonde beauty?
Wait.
Isn't
in New York, pursuing a career in the theater from Talbot Corners, Iowa, Miss Sue Ellen Quackenbush.
Hi. Oh, I'm so thrilled, and I feel so humbled to be right here in the middle of all these talented people.
Have you made many
Sister,
friends
what's
here in
wrong?
New York?
Well, yes, I've made so many
You're so pale. What is it?
Are you and Perry Wilson an item?
Chester, you're ill.
Perry and I an item? Well,
Let me
that would
turn
mean
this stupid thing off.
Item?
Now tell me what's bothering you.
Nothing.
No, dear, I'm afraid something's very much the matter. Just sit down. I'll get you some water.
I'll kill her. I'll kill her.
They say there's no fool like an old fool. But still, Chester Macefield isn't that old. So how could he be that foolish? The answer probably lies in the fact that a fool in love is ageless, and therefore hopeless. Chester Macefield is speeding into the city with blood in his eye and a .32 caliber pistol in his pocket. Chester Macefield, a man of the world, has been betrayed by a woman, a slip of a girl, barely out of her teens. But she has wounded him, not just in his heart, which after all can recover, but in his vanity, which can never be the same.
Chester!
You lied to me, Sue Ellen. You lied to me.
Now, Chester, honey, I don't have the vaguest notion what you're talking about.
I'm so thrilled, and I feel so humbled to be in the midst of all these talented people.
Oh, that?
Yes, that.
Well, honey, just what do you think you can do about it?
I can kill you.
Chester, put that gun away. Back home, everybody has a gun, and we have all kinds of accidents.
I'm going to kill you, Sue Ellen.
Why?
Why? Because you lied to me.
And who says I can't lie to you? What am I supposed to do while you're at home making love to your wife? How am I supposed to feel? What am I supposed to think? You want everything your way.
Sue Ellen, I love you.
Oh, fine. I love you, too. But maybe love isn't enough.
What do you want?
You take that tone out of your voice. Don't you make it sound as if I want something unreasonable. I want what I have a right to want. A man I can be seen with. A man I can be with all the time. I don't want a man who's ashamed of me.
But I'm not ashamed.
Then take me places.
But you know I have a wife.
Then turn between us.
Sue Ellen.
It's your problem.
Wait for me.
Why? What is going to happen?
I don't know. I'll think of something. Please.
Well, all right. All right. But I don't want to wait forever.
I had the gun in my pocket. I'd rushed out of my house filled with an insane rage to kill. But the moment I saw her, heard her voice, touched her hand, I knew I couldn't. I knew I couldn't kill her. And yet, if I wanted Sue Ellen, I would have to kill Edna. Because, and it sounds so mercenary and mundane, but without Edna's money, I knew that I could never have Sue Ellen. But kill? How do you kill? Murder. Ending the life of another human being. Forever. I couldn't murder Edna. I couldn't. I wouldn't. And yet, as long as Edna lived, I would be forced to do without Sue Ellen. And for me, that would be worse than death. Edna?
Ah, good morning, darling.
I suppose it's true.
What's true?
What Arnold tells me. That you spend so much of your time here in the Serpentarium.
Oh, I'm just fascinated by Nijinsky. I think we're beginning to communicate.
You are?
I think what he's trying to tell me is, please don't be afraid. I mean you no harm. Let us be friends.
He says that?
Well, no, he doesn't say that in so many words. It's the thought that he's trying to communicate.
I see.
And he is succeeding.
Is he? How can you tell?
Because each day I become less and less afraid.
Oh?
And one day, I just know, I'll walk in here and Nijinsky and I will look at each other and smile. And all the fear will be gone from my heart. And I'll be able to say to Nijinsky, come, old friend, why don't we go walking together?
You mean you'll actually let him out of his cage?
His prison. Why not? He is being shut up there because of the evil that's in my heart, not in his.
Well...
It'll be the greatest challenge of my life, the test of how I really feel. And I hope to be ready for it.
Do you? When?
Why do you ask?
Well, so that I will be able to lock you up in your room until the foolishness passes.
I don't really know when. It could happen to me tomorrow, or next week, or next month, next year, or never. Oh, I shouldn't have said a word to you about it.
Darling, I'm your husband, and I love you.
And I love you. But two people can never completely become one. There's always a tiny secret place in the heart that... Well, that's my tiny secret place.
Hello?
Sue Ellen, darling.
Oh, it's you.
Is that the chump?
It's the chump.
Sue Ellen, darling.
Well, where are you?
I'm at home.
Oh, you're at home. That's nice. What have you got to say to me?
Hang up on him.
He pays the rent, remember?
I just wanted to tell you, things will be looking up very soon.
That's what you said last night.
I know.
And the night before? Perry, you stop that now.
You and I will be married very soon, darling.
Have you asked her for a divorce?
No, but...
But what? Perry.
I've got something better planned.
What could be better?
Now, just be patient.
How long am I supposed to be patient?
Just a little while longer.
And what do I do in the meanwhile? Sit around all alone every night? Perry, you're terrible.
Sue Ellen, I love you. I need you. Soon, I'll be able to give you everything your heart has ever desired. Tell me you love me.
Honey, you know I love you.
I have to know that. I have to be sure of that. And now I see what I have to do. Goodbye, darling. I'll be with you soon. Very soon. And I'll be free.
Chester? He hung up.
Well, let's see, baby. Where were we? Darling, would you mind terribly if I went into the city this evening?
Of course not, dear.
It's these same people at the club. You know, the ones I told you about.
Oh, yes.
For some reason, I can't imagine why, they seem to think I have a knowledge of land values.
Well, Chester, you are a very capable person.
Oh. Well, this thing may run late, so don't wait up for me.
I will. I always feel, well, incomplete unless you're in the house with me.
I'll always remember how she looked. She was almost pretty when she had that shy smile on her face. But would it be murder? If all I did was help her to kill herself? She had this insane affinity for a lethally poisonous snake. Sooner or later, she would release him from his cage in the mad delusion that he was her dear friend. Would it be murder? No. It isn't murder. Look at him. This enormous monster coiled in his cage, sleeping. No one had seen me enter this house of crawling, murderous creatures. Here on the side is the latch. All I need do is turn to open and just slide the glass a few inches to the side. And when he wakes up... Oh, no. Don't wake up just yet. Give me my chance to get out of here. That's it. Sleep soundly. And when morning comes, you'll notice the opening, and you'll slither out. And when she walks in here, you'll greet her the way a poisonous snake usually greets people. Good night, Nijinsky. And good hunting.
Honey? Maybe I better leave?
Why, Shook?
Well, maybe, well, you know, the chump.
The chump never shows up unless he calls first. And you know something? I'm getting sick and tired of Mr. Chester Macefield.
Well, darling, let's not be hasty. You know, you don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
Yes, well... This horse is kind of old and lame.
Hey, what's that? Does he have a key?
Oh, my goodness. It's Chester.
Sue Ellen, I have wonderful news. Sue Ellen, what is...
Now, Chester, darling, let me explain.
Lane, what?
Look, why don't I just get out of here and leave you two to...
Stay where you are.
I don't see how you can stop me.
I said stay where you are.
Well, listen, please. Please be careful with...
Stay where you are and shut up.
Chester, Angel, you don't need that gun. I can explain.
Shut up.
Why did you come here with a gun?
Why? What made me bring the gun? I must have known, deep down, inside, that I would have to use it.
Please, Chester, don't talk that way.
I'm going to kill you.
No, please.
And him also.
Now, look, mister, please, what did we ever do to you?
And what did you do to me?
All we were doing was having fun. You gonna kill us for that?
Chester, you're an old man. You just weren't enough.
No! Don't kill us. Look, mister, I don't want to die.
You'll never laugh at me again. Never. Edna. I have to save Edna. Maybe he's still asleep. Maybe he's still in his cage. I'll just slide the glass closed again and lock the... He's out. I'll have to kill him. No. Empty. Keep away from me. Keep away. I can't move. Why can't I move? Keep away. No!
I'm sorry, Miss Macefield.
Thank you, Arnold.
I don't understand what you were doing inside here. Latch, the cage was open.
Yes.
Why did you let Nijinsky out?
It's my fault.
Your fault? Well, why'd you say that?
I must have given him the idea. Maybe he wanted to show me that he would do it first.
Uh-huh.
He was becoming interested in animals. Toward the end, he had become a much more gentle person.
But Nijinsky shouldn't have been able to kill him.
How could he miss with those lethal fangs?
Miss Macefield, I gotta make a confession. When I heard you talk one day, pet Nijinsky, you scared me so much that, well, I had the vet sneak in here and remove his poison sacs.
Well, then, why did Mr. Macefield die?
Well, I guess that's something we'll never know.
But we know Chester Macefield died because, in so many cases, fear itself is more than enough, especially when it's aided by a guilty conscience. As William F. Cody, better known as Buffalo Bill, used to say, if a man is scared enough of a gun, you can kill him with a blank cartridge. Cast included Elliot Reed, Joan Loring, Leon Janney, E.V. Juster, and Earl Hammond. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown. Radio Mystery Theater was sponsored in part by Buick Motor Division. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams.
preceding program was furnished by the Columbia Broadcasting System. This is WOR New York and RKO General Station.
The preceding episode of the CBS Mystery Theater was originally aired in 1974, and it was recorded off the air by Gary C. Dudash of AM Treasures, Babylon, New York. In turn, I have taken the
CBS Radio Mystery Theater presents... Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. Won't you join me in the exploration of the rich resources of your own imagination? Modern science tells us we live in a world of waves. Beyond the atom, the electron, the ion, substance itself breaks down into waves. My voice is coming to you now on waves. And that, as they say, is the long and short of it. But what about thoughts? Might not they comprise wave patterns, too? Patterns that linger on after the thinkers are buried. Might not that explain the empty footfall in the vacant house? The rattle of chains, now rusted and broken. And even the sound of voices long ago silenced.
They'll overtake me. They'll put me in irons. And this time, they'll hang me.
No, my dear, no. They can't harm you now. They're all gone. They're all turned to dust long ago.
They'd be after me. You'd not want to see me swinging in the wind, would you?
No, I wouldn't want to see that.
I must have a swift, able ship. In mercy's name, help me. Help me.
Our mystery drama, The Strange Voyage of the Lady Dee, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Mary Jane Higby and stars Paul Hecht and Augusta Dabney. It is sponsored in part by Sign-Off, the sinus medicines, and Anheuser-Busch Incorporated, brewers of Budweiser. I'll be back shortly with Act One.
If you take a look at the new 1975 cars, it doesn't take long to notice the European influence is strong. And to be sure, there are some new American cars that rival the Europeans, one being Buick's new Skylark SR. But don't consider a Skylark SR because of its touring car interior or its rather rakish profile. Consider it because it's a Buick, possessing many of Buick's nicer innovations, like the new Buick V6, a peppery little engine that spits out a plentiful amount of torque while sipping a surprisingly small amount of gasoline. And if you wish, Skylark SR can abound with creature comforts seldom found on cars this size, with available items like Cruise Master speed control, AM/FM stereo. But you've heard enough. Now you need to see and drive a Skylark SR. And try to remember, it's not a European touring car. It's a Buick.
Buick, dedicated to the free spirit in just about everyone.
We'll return to Mystery Theater in just a moment. Food shoppers, there's really no mystery about saving on food when you shop Thrifty Mart supermarkets. Thrifty Marts are open 24 hours a day in suburban communities including Dalton, Park Forest, Aurora, Griffith, and Hammond. And to prove it, here's the Thrifty Mart 24-hour special, especially for you Mystery Theater listeners. Chocolate chips, 59 cents. That's right, Baker's 12-ounce chocolate chips on sale for 59 cents at Thrifty Mart for the next 24 hours. Get this dramatic bargain anytime tonight or get it tomorrow. It's on sale right now and until tomorrow night at 10:30 at Thrifty Mart. There are 44 Thrifty Mart supermarkets in Illinois and Indiana. Most stores open 24 hours, offering the finest in meats, groceries, and produce. Remember, Baker's 12-ounce package of chocolate chips, just 59 cents. Especially for you Mystery Theater listeners at Thrifty Mart. Limit 1 package per customer, please.
The curious adventure that befell the Stevens family would never have happened if Ellen had had her way. But Ellen was a realist. Her husband, Richard, a romantic. And when did realism ever hold the line against the subtle persuasions of romance? It all began during a visit to one of those cruise-ridden, sun-drenched islands in the Caribbean. A friendly family disagreement was in progress. An old story. It's been going on now for 6 years.
It's the one at the end of the dock, Ellen. There. Isn't she beautiful?
Mm-hmm. Very nice. But you promised her, Richard, no more boats. Well, not until Susie's at least 16 years old.
We'll never see a buy like this again. They're practically giving it away.
Well, then there's something wrong with it. It's got dry rot.
Not this ship. Come on, step aboard, Ellen.
Richard, why do you start these things? You know we're not in the market for a boat.
Oh, but this is such a jewel. Wait till you see the cabin. Plenty of headroom. A beautiful galley.
Can I go aboard? Can I want to see.
Oh, all right, but just one quick look. And be careful of your dress, Susie.
Here, let me help you, Susie. There you are. Now, just look at this afterdeck. She's all white oak and cedar, and she's a motor sailor. You know, a lot better than an auxiliary engine. You can run just as well under power as under sail. There are 2 50-gallon fuel tanks below deck.
Mama, look at this kitchen down here. There's even an oven.
Really? Is there an oven?
Of course. The ship is a real home. Ellen, what do you say if we take a short run? I have the ignition key. The guy in the boatyard office said I could take her out.
No, Richard, I've had it with boats. And anyway, the question's academic. Even if we bought it, we couldn't get it back to the States.
We could sail it.
Are you out of your mind? It's hundreds of miles.
She has an enormous cruising range. What, with the engine and sail? We just watch the weather predictions very carefully.
Well, come on, Susie. We're going to get off now. Richard, you take the keys back to the boatyard man. And I'll get the car and bring it down as far as I can. I'll pick you up at the gate.
Daddy?
Yeah?
I want to take a ride in it. Can I tomorrow, Daddy? Can I? Oh, can I?
What, dear?
Can we go for a boat ride tomorrow?
I don't know. Depends on your mother.
Oh, I wish we could buy the boat. Don't you? Daddy? Don't you?
Don't I what?
Wish we could buy the boat.
Yeah, well, that part's all taken care of. I already bought it. The only problem now is how to break the news to your mother. Now, Ellen, you have to admit, this is the life. Look at that sea. It's like glass.
It's too calm. I don't like the gray mistiness that's settling over everything. I won't feel good until we sight land again.
I won't be long now. We were clipping right along when we had the sails up. See, that's the advantage of a motor sailor. When the wind died, we could switch right over to power and still maintain our speed.
Except for that panicky half hour when you couldn't get the engine started.
Just a little corrosion around the points. Bit of sandpaper fixed that. Here, Ellen, why don't you take over the wheel, huh? I want to go and look at the chart. Now, the first buoy we pick up is number 12. From there, we'll see a light. If we make it before nightfall, you can take over for a few minutes. Okay, Susie?
The light is missed.
You know where we are right now? We're sailing on the Spanish Main.
The Spanish Main?
That's right. These waters were infested with pirates in the old days. Blackbeard or Calico Jack.
Richard, I think there's a fog closing in. Look ahead.
Yeah. Well, just hold a steady course. We'll be sighting that buoy any minute now. Susie, go below and bring up my binoculars. There's a good girl.
The visibility's not any too good.
We can't be far from port.
Oh, Richard, I hope we're not running into one of those awful pea soup.
Now, don't panic. Don't get Susie frightened.
Here's binoculars.
Thanks.
Can you make out anything?
Well, I don't see it yet. But we will.
Tell me more about the pirate.
Okay. Well, Calico Jack Rackham, they called him that because of the fancy clothes he wore, he sailed with Anne Bonny. There were girl pirates, too, you know.
Girl pirate?
Sure. Anne Bonny and Mary Reed. And from all accounts, they were better at it than the men.
The fog's getting awfully thick, Richard. I've never seen one roll in so fast and the sun's gone.
I'll take over.
No, I can hold her on course. You keep looking for that buoy. We should have been in port long ago.
Well, we lost a little time trying to start the engine.
Are we lost?
Of course not.
I think we ought to start sounding our foghorn.
Not yet. Don't you want to hear what happened to Anne Bonny?
What happened to her?
Well, the pirates all went to jail. They hanged poor old Calico Jack. Mary Reed was dying of a fever, and Anne Bonny nursed her. And then, well, nobody knows just what did happen. In the morning, when the jailkeeper opened their cell, he found the body of Mary Reed, but Anne Bonny was gone. She disappeared and was never heard of.
Richard!
What?
Look! Look what you've done, oh, Richard. How could you?
Well, what? Well, what is
This
it?
monkey wrench is right behind the compass. Richard!
Who put that there?
Who? Who was working on the engine? That wrench will have pulled that compass so far out of line. Heaven knows where we are now.
Sorry. I was so glad to get that motor started. Oh, Ellen, I'm sorry.
Oh, if I ever get my feet on dry land
Now,
again.
let's keep calm. We are not lost.
Oh, no, we're still right here in the Atlantic Ocean.
I'm sorry, Ellen.
How I ever let you talk me into this expedition?
Just try to keep cool.
Daddy?
All my fault.
We're probably 50 miles off course.
Daddy, there's a big can floating over there.
What? Where?
There.
The buoy. It is.
Oh, thank heaven.
I'll take the wheel. I want to go right up to it. We got to be sure of that number.
It should be 12, right?
I see it. I see the number.
What is it?
3.
3? No, it can't be.
A 3 and an 8.
Oh, no.
That's what it is.
Ellen?
Susie's right. 38.
That's impossible. Take the wheel again, Al. Just idle here by the buoy. There's no 38 on this chart. We're way off course. I have to go below and get the other charts.
Can you still see the buoy, Susie?
Sure. It's right here.
Well, keep your eye on it. Don't let me drift too far away. Darling?
Yeah?
You're not smoking down there, are you?
Good Lord, no. You know I haven't smoked in 10 years.
I smell tobacco.
So do I.
What? Oh, well, let me get at the engine. Maybe there's a short in the wire.
No, it's not like that. It's tobacco. Did you hear that?
What?
It sounded like
Somebody laughed.
ahoy!
It's a ship.
Where? I don't see anything.
Ahoy! Ahoy! They don't answer. Blow the horn. Ahoy!
What ship are you?
The Lady Dee. We're off course. Can you give us our bearings?
Use that lay over for the night. Steer north by east, a quarter east. You'll run right down the channel.
Thank you.
I still can't see anything. North by east, a quarter east. It was a woman.
Bring the ship around. Slowly, Ellen.
That's right.
I hope she knows what she's talking about.
And I still smell tobacco.
So do I. Was she that close? I didn't see a thing.
I didn't hear any motor.
Maybe she's sailing.
Now, Susie, how could she be? There's no wind.
And she seemed to get away so fast.
Ellen, go as slow as you can. I'm going forward and keep a sharp watch. We don't know what we're heading into.
And I've got her throttled way down.
Hey!
Ow! What are we here?
Quick, put her into reverse! Reverse! Quick now, put her into reverse. Then we can back off. Now, here, let me try. That's no use.
Oh, we found the ground.
Yes, and we're stuck fast.
One of the most beautiful yet fearful tales that travelers tell is the Lorelei, the siren who sits on a rock, combing her long golden hair and luring unwary boatmen to their doom. But a siren who smokes tobacco? We'll learn more of this unusual temptress when we return shortly with Act 2.
You don't see many people putting salt in their beer nowadays. Not that there's anything wrong with salt on radishes or French fries, but man, not in the king of beers. Truth is, the only thing salt can do for Budweiser is make it salty. An unwise thing to do to the only beer in America that's Beechwood aged. Unsalted Budweiser has become the most popular beer in the world. That's because in brewing Bud, the Budweiser brewmaster goes all the way for a taste, a smoothness, a drinkability you'll find in no other beer at any price. And something else you can take without a grain of salt. The fact that when you say Budweiser, you've said it all. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
SOS stands for Savings on Speakers at your local Lafayette store. This week, Lafayette is featuring big reductions on our own popular speaker systems in all price ranges. For example, the Criterion 333 acoustic suspension system, normally $44.95, is only $34.88 during this sale, a savings of more than $10. And check our convenient layaway plan, our famous no-hassle guarantee, and gift certificates. Lafayette Radio Electronics plugs you into everything electronic.
Just a radio store, wherever your electronic needs are, you can be sure at Lafayette. Lafayette, the complete electronic shopping. Lafayette, Lafayette.
Nothing so eerie as the feel of a ship gone aground. A living, pulsing body beneath your feet goes suddenly. Aboard the Lady Dee, only Susie slept that night. Ellen and Richard kept an anxious vigil, waiting to see what the dawn would bring. Where were they? How great was the damage to their boat? On the last question hung the safety, perhaps the survival, of the ship and her crew.
Ellen, come up on deck. You got to see this.
What, dear?
Look at that sunrise. Isn't it magnificent?
Oh, God. You are the one man alive who could run a valuable boat aground in the middle of nowhere and greet the dawn like Shelley.
Some sort of ship is sure to pass by. Meantime, this is a great adventure.
Mm-hmm. Wait till the tide runs out. That'll be an adventure. This boat's going to roll over on her side.
No, she won't. She's built like a sea skiff. They used to pull them right up on the beach to unload the catch. So, give us a kiss, Cassandra.
Good morning, darling.
Well, I guess I better better go ashore and see if I can find a water supply on our desert island.
Is this really a desert island? I'm afraid so, sleepyhead. And your father's playing Robinson Richard, look.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, here comes Friday.
Hello!
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. You early?
What'd he say?
I think he said we're early.
Early for what?
What island is this?
Campbell's Island.
Campbell's Island?
Yes, mistress. I'm Campbell.
Oh, how do you do, Mr. Campbell? I'm Richard Stevens. This is my wife.
Good morning, mistress.
My daughter.
Welcome.
Did you say we were early?
Yes. Usually September come before she bring a boat.
Who?
The lady who smoked the pipe.
A pipe?
Yes, a long clay pipe. You did not see her.
No.
We smelled her pipe.
Is Campbell's Island... I mean, is there a town here?
Ow! Campbell, the only man here.
Oh, we missed the harbor channel.
Campbell's Island. Have no harbor.
The lady said there was a channel.
Oh, yes. Sometimes she say that.
You mean she lied to her?
Baby, you want your boat. Your boat, she nice.
Oh, well, won't you come aboard?
Thank you, sir.
Can I give you a cup of coffee?
No, thank you, mistress. Oh, your wheel.
I like a good old-fashioned wheel to steer with.
You pay a lot for that. Oh, the compass.
Oh, the ship's well equipped.
This is the ship's bell.
Brass. West Coast dear. You have a radio?
Just a receiving set. Now, Mr. Campbell, about getting off the beach.
You stuck fast, man.
Well, if you have a boat and a tow line at high tide...
No, man. My motor too small. Just a little outboard. I sail to the other islands.
Well, there are other islands near?
8 hours to sail there.
Could they send out a workboat from another island?
Maybe. We have to fetch them. No wireless on Campbell's Island.
You mean go in your little sailboat?
Oh, no, mistress. You and the child must stay here. My boat is small. If I try to keep a big boat, she take it.
You mean...
The lady with the pipe.
Well, now, she has a boat. She ought to be willing.
No, man. Mistress Bonnie have no boat. That's the trouble. She look for a boat. All the time she look.
Bonnie? Did you say Bonnie?
And Bonnie?
You know about her?
Yes, but she died 200 years ago.
That's what they say.
Do you mean that we were talking to a ghost? Of course not, Susie. There's no such thing. I talked to a ghost. I talked to a ghost. Be sensible. There's no such thing as a ghost.
Your boat is stuck fast on Campbell's Island. For true?
Why, yes, but...
If the ghost, she don't bring you. How you think you got here?
Mr. Campbell and Susie are certainly getting along together. Look at them striding ahead of us.
He's striding. She's trotting. What a big, powerful man he is. And his skin like ebony.
Yeah. How old do you think he is?
Well, I don't know. 40?
Well, I'm eager to see his boat.
I hate to think of you starting out all alone with him.
I have to go for help.
But why can't he go by himself?
Oh, I don't know. He doesn't seem willing to do that.
Did you notice the way he examined our boat equipment?
Yeah, like he was taking inventory.
Yeah, but what do they call those people who lure ships to their doom by putting out beacon lights?
Wreckers.
Yeah. You think he's a wrecker?
The thought crossed my mind.
But we did hear a woman's voice.
Now, look, there could be two explanations for that.
either there is a woman on this island in spite of what Campbell says, or he's a ventriloquist. Look, Ellen, look down there.
Why, it's a castle.
A ruin. A burned-out ruin.
How in the world on this desert island?
I know what that is. I've seen those burnt mansions before. This was a plantation in the slave days. When the slaves rebelled, they burned the house to the ground.
Half of it is still standing.
Yeah. And now the house and the island have found a new master. Welcome. You like a drink before lunch?
Lunch?
Yes, I give you a nice lunch. You like foie gras, caviar, potted shrimp, any kind of wine?
Nothing, thank you.
A vodka Collins would be just fine. Vodka Collins. Soon come back.
Mama, Mr. Campbell says there's an ice-cold spring behind the house and coconuts and pineapples and
Hey, look in the corner there. Cast bronze and enormous.
A propeller.
That's worth a lot of money.
And that wheel, it's huge.
Must have come off a schooner.
What does it say on this plate, Mama?
Duchess of the Caribbees.
This one says Rita Chu. This one is Morning Star at SS. What's this word?
The SS Odyssey.
Oh, Richard.
Yeah. All of ships.
Don't wreckers usually murder their victims?
Now, Ellen, we don't know that he's a wrecker. You like my house?
Oh, it's lovely.
I have good life, man, since I learned to get along with Mistress Bonnie. How did you come here in the first place, Mr. Campbell? I was fisherman, hard work, no money. One night, she take my boat. I swim to this island. I see all these rich things here on the beach. So I come back in a new boat. She put that one on the devil's thumb.
What's the devil's thumb?
Big rock. The devil, he put his thumb up at low tide. Then he pull it down at high tide. Then up at low tide. He hide it again, just below the water. Along come a sailorman. Up come the thumb, right through the bottom of the boat. The devil, I think he good friend of Mistress Bonnie. Mr. Campbell, you say it'll take all day to get to the nearest boatyard? In my boat. But they have workboat. Much quicker with power. They return here with you in 2-3 hours. And then, can we start tomorrow morning? Yes, man. 5 o'clock to catch the tide. I have things to sell very dear. Better than fish. Oh, yes, better than fish. It feels good to stretch out. Ooh, I'm exhausted.
I was certainly glad to get back to our boat.
Yeah.
I'm afraid I'm too nervous to sleep, though I dread the thought of our separating tomorrow. When I think of you, all by yourself on the sea with that giant of a man, I'm so frightened. Why won't he go alone to get help? That would be perfectly normal, wouldn't it? Unless there's a price on his head. Richard? Richard? Oh, Richard, are you... Oh, Richard. Oh, dear, I'll never get to sleep.
She's a naval ship.
What? Who's that?
Over the side with you, lad. And mind, walk on cat's feet.
Who's there?
ship. May I come aboard?
There's somebody with you. I heard you talking.
Aye, but they all ran at the sound of your voice. Men, a craven lot. Jack Rackham was his name. But Mary Reed stood beside me. We held off the king's men till our pistols were empty, and they boarded and knocked the cutlasses out of our hands. Mary died in prison, poor soul. She was with child. But that was days ago.
Days? It was more than that.
Perhaps. I've lost count of time. Will you join me in a fight?
No, thanks.
A fine, soothing thing to sit on a ship's deck and blow rings at the moon.
I've never seen such perfect smoke rings.
Ghost.
Ghost?
Aye. The ghost of wedding rings I should have worn. Calico Jack called me that. A captivating man was Jack with his black, gypsy wild curls. They hanged him nonetheless. I stayed till Mary breathed her last, and then...
And then? What happened?
Not all the king's men could ever find out. But come, what will you take for your ship?
She's not...
Oh, come, I must have a ship. They'd be after me. You'd not want to see poor Annie swing in the wind like Calico Jack, would you?
No, I wouldn't want to see that, but they can't harm you now. They're gone. All turned to dust long ago.
So put me in iron.
No, my dear, no.
I must have a ship. Listen, I have something worth hundreds of ships. I'll trade it out for this miserable little craft.
What is it?
Rackham and I, we sailed with Blackbeard once.
Blackbeard?
The same. Now, come close, lad. I know where Blackbeard buried his treasure.
Blackbeard's treasure?
A great treasure it was. The booty from 3 rich Spanish merchantmen, laden with gold and silver.
You have a map? A chart?
No need. I know where it is. Come with me, lad. We'll slip out on the next side.
Aren't you forgetting that you drove us aground last night?
A good storm will set you afloat.
Campbell says the big storms don't come till September.
Aye, but sometimes they do. We'll see to that. So, it's a bargain. You'll sail with me.
No, I can't.
You'd abandon me then, betray me?
No, but I
must have a fast ship. They'll be after me. They'll overtake me, and this time they'll hang me. In mercy's name, lad, help me.
I can't. There's a great gulf between us, Anne. You're a dream, a figment. And when I wake up, I'll still be here, but you'll be gone. I can't help you because you're nothing. You're nothing but a dream. Anne? Anne? Where are you? Come back! Come back!
There's an apparition for you. A whistling, pipe-smoking lady with a cutlass at her belt. But why did she leave so abruptly? Was she offended at being called a nothing, a figment? Well, none of us likes to hear the truth about himself, least of all a ghost. We'll follow Anne Bonny's ruthless quest for a ship when we return shortly with Act 3.
I want that
Sinus medicine.
Headache tablets?
No, sinus medicine. Sinus tablets. Helps the headache and the pressure.
Oh, you mean sign-off.
Exactly.
Headache pain is one thing. A sinus headache is something else. Sometimes your whole face can seem to throb with pain. You want relief. Take Sign-Off tablets. SINEOFF, the sinus medicine that gives you a full dose of pure aspirin plus a sinus drainer. Sign-Off, the sinus medicine that helps relieve sinus pain while you drain. And Sign-Off doesn't stop there. Have you tried Sign-Off Sinus Spray, the fastest known form of sinus congestion relief? It works in seconds. That's Sign-Off Sinus Spray. When sinus flares up, use Sign-Off tablets and spray only as directed.
SINEOFF.
Sign-Off.
Exactly.
Sign-Off, the sinus medicines in the bright red box.
We'll return to Mystery Theater in just a moment. Your car is worth hundreds of dollars more today at Arnie Newsom Chevrolet. Yes, no matter what you're driving or how old or new your car is, you'll get $300 to $800 more in trade on any new 1975 or 1974 Chevrolet at Arnie Newsom's giant sale at 4849 North Broadway. Come in and browse around. See the exciting new Monzas, Camaros, Impalas, Caprices, Novas, Chevelles, Vegas, and Monte Carlos. There are many 74s to choose from at low discount prices. For example, brand new 74 Chevy Vegas, originally $27.10, now only $22.95, less your giant trade-in. A 74 Impala Custom, factory air-conditioned, executive-driven, originally $45.69, is just $34.95, way less with your giant trade-in. More than 350 cars to choose from now at Arnie Newsom Chevrolet. Open every day and all day Sunday at 4849 North Broadway.
Arnie Newsom Chevrolet sells the low profit way. Arnie Newsom Chevrolet, 4849 North Broadway.
This is WBBM Chicago.
A spectral lady bent on seizing a ship, or a laughing West Indian intent only on gathering up the spoils. Ellen doesn't know which she fears most as she watches the dawn stretch its rosy fingers across the uncharted island where the cruiser Lady Dee lies stranded in the sand. That was a good breakfast, Ellen.
I had a depressing dream last night.
Oh?
Well, at least I think it was a dream. Anne Bonny boarded the Lady Dee, and we had a long talk. And I felt sorry for her. She was frightened.
That scared ghost, huh? That's a switch.
Well, she was terrified. Oh, darling. I hate to see you go off with that awful man in that little boat.
Oh, now, Ellen, dearest, you mustn't worry.
I wish we could stay together. The sea, it's so treacherous.
Campbell's been sailing these waters all his life.
Oh, yes. And he's lost 2 boats. He told us. And besides, we're going out in a tiny boat with a crew.
He's not. He gathers salvage. That's all we really know about him.
Good morning. She's here now. Time to go.
Toss me a line. I'll make you fast to our stern.
Touch.
Got it.
Come up on deck, Susie. Daddy's leaving.
Come on, darling. Take care.
I want to go, too.
So do I, but we can't, darling.
I don't want to stay here.
Morning, Mr. Susie.
Good morning. I want to go with you, Daddy, please.
No, there isn't room for us all. You and Mommy take care of each other.
Don't go, Daddy.
Mr. Susie, you go to my house. You can look at the books, read the pictures.
Now, when I get into the boat with Mr. Campbell, we're going to let you free the line and cast it off. Now, see how quickly you can do it. Here I go. Hurry, cast us off.
There.
Be good now. We'll be back before you know it.
Aren't you going to start the motor?
No, the tide. She take us out. Then I put up the sail.
Oh, darling. You're slicker. A quick shower might come
Not
up.
a chance. Look at that sky. No stormy weather. Not if Aunt Bonnie, she don't whistle up the wind.
What? What did you say?
No storm. Not if she don't whistle up the wind. She do that sometimes. Yes, man. Ooh-wee, she do that.
You stayed too long in Campbell's house, Susie. You should be getting back to the Lady Dee.
It's still raining.
I thought it was one of those quick little tropical showers, but just look out there.
The water's all ruffled.
White caps.
I'm hungry. Let's go back to the Lady Dee.
We'll be soaked.
I'll tell you what let's do. Why don't I go back alone and get you raincoat?
No, darling.
It doesn't matter if I get wet. I'm in my bathing suit.
No, Susie, no.
You always say no. Daddy will let me. It's only a little way. Please.
Well, you promise you'll come straight back?
I promise.
No loitering now.
I won't.
A full great tide is coming. Ship will float free soon.
Oh, I'll go get my mom.
No time for that. The wind's offshore and the tides are making.
Mama will know what to do.
Are you frightened? Will you run away and leave your ship to flounder?
Oh, I'm not scared, but...
You'll have to step quickly to save her.
I don't know how.
Come aboard.
I'm going to get my mama's raincoat. I promise.
See there?
What?
She's floating free. But this great tide will drive her further up on the beach.
Daddy put out an anchor on the beach.
The waves will carry her up over the anchor and dash her to pieces on those rocks up there.
Oh, no.
But you can save her if you weren't afraid.
I'm not scared.
Then, up to the mainsail line.
I can't put up these sails. I'm not big enough.
Ah, that's a pity. The ship is lost. Lost.
But I can start the engine.
Can you know?
Sure, anybody could do that. You just turn that little key there. She starts right off.
She's saved. Start her up.
I can't lift that big anchor, though.
Cast it off. Cast it off. Better to lose an anchor than a ship.
Daddy says you always start the engine first.
Aye, aye. Captain?
I'm too short to reach the gear shifting. I know. I'll get something to stand on. Here. Daddy's tool chest will do. Now, let's see. He calls this little thing the choke.
Hurry! She's swinging about.
I've never done this before. Now, I'll turn the key. Now I put the motor in reverse.
The anchor on the beach.
Wait for drop. I'll go forward and untie it.
Can you free it?
Yes. It's just wound around this little thing.
Steady there. She's rolling.
I have to throw the rope far away. Daddy says...
Never mind. Do it. The ship's rolling. The top the waves.
It sure is.
Hurry. Or she'll go up on the beach again.
I don't know what
Go water now. Straighten her out. Head out to sea. Arms to port.
The wheel's so big. That's better. We're not rowing so much. Where do I go?
Right out to sea.
Oh, no. I don't want to go way out there.
If you don't, you'll go around again.
I don't want to go out the ocean. I'm scared.
Run around the island and drop your anchor on the other side. She can lie in the sea.
I left the anchor on the beach.
Have you lost?
No. There's a little tiny one with a rowboat.
Ah, silly. Well, go around the island.
I'm trying. I can't. Something's the matter. Look! What's the matter with the wheel? It's just spinning around. It's all loose.
Oh, man! I can reach the steer. Yes, the rudder cable broke. You'll not be able to pilot her now.
What do I do?
We're caught in a fast current. We'll be swept out. Please, there's nothing for it. The ship is doomed. She's lost. Lost. And I must find another.
There's my mommy on the beach. Mommy! Lucy, what in heaven's name are you doing? Come back! Come back! I can't steer it. It's broken. Miss Bonnie, what do I do? Miss Bonnie, where are you? Come back! Mommy, I'm scared.
The ship can't just disappear like that, can it? Without leaving a trace.
Of course not, darling. Mr. Wyatt here has radioed back to the boatyard. They say the authorities are sending out a helicopter. We'll hear from it soon, and when we do, we'll go right to her. This tug is faster than it looks.
No way. Terrible.
Isn't there anything else we can do, Mr. Wyatt?
I don't know what to say to you folks. We've been around the island several times. There's no sign of a ship.
Baby. I should never have let her out of my sight. I had no idea she'd try to start the engine.
Ellen, darling, don't. We'll find her.
She was only gone from the house just about 10 minutes. I set out right after her.
I know, dearest.
And then when I got to the beach, the boat was out a little way from the shore. And Susie was standing there crying. And the boat was just drifting away. It went around that point of land out there. And I ran to the other side of the island. But I never saw it again.
Oh, dearest, please, don't cry.
There was just nothing I could do until you came back in the tugboat.
I know. We'll find her.
I wish that man Campbell was here. He knows these waters. Why didn't he come back with you?
He dropped me at the public dock and took off like a shot.
The police have had him in for questioning several times. There have been too many wrecks in the last few years. But they never seem to get anything out of him. So, you ran into him too, huh?
Yeah, he told us. Hey, wait a minute. What did he call it? That rock, the Devil's Thumb.
Yes, the submerged rock.
Yeah, do you know where it is, Mr. Wyatt?
Well, there's only one I know of, a very dangerous spot, right in the path of a swift current. At some times, it's, there are shoals to very bad place.
Oh, Richard.
Mr. Wyatt,
Yes, of course. I know about where it lies. Now, we'll run down on it. Best to have a look. This is the tugboat Swallow calling Coastal Police Launch. Tug Swallow to Police Launch. Come in, please. Over.
Police launch to Swallow. I read you. Over.
That's good. I can hardly hear you, but it doesn't matter. We've located the missing cruiser, Lady Dee. Over.
Is the child okay? Over.
Yeah, It's a miracle. The kid was alone on board. She managed to drop a small anchor onto a submerged sandbar near the Devil's Thumb. I have the boat in tow, and we're heading back to port. Over.
Glad to hear it. Over.
Right. Over and out. Well, Susie, you're quite a sailor. But how did you know that sandbar was there? You couldn't see it.
The lady told me. The lady with the pipe.
The lady?
She's not a real lady. She's a ghost.
No. Well, it's hard to explain.
We don't believe in such things, of course, but...
She went away for a while, but when I started to cry, she came back.
A ghost?
I'm sure there's some perfectly natural
She
explanation.
said to put out a long, long line so the anchor wouldn't drag.
Well, that was sound advice. But I don't understand.
You see, Mr. Wyatt, I've been telling Susie these pirate stories.
And I'd had a very vivid dream, and she heard us talking about that. You know how impressionable children are.
Excuse me. Do you smell something burning?
Something burning?
Yeah. Smells like tobacco.
Richard.
Mr. Wyatt, don't you think we better get both these boats back into harbor just as fast as we can?
Well, those were the known facts of the strange voyage of the Lady Dee. To this day, Susie insists she talked to a ghost. Ellen believes it was a startling example of the power of the imagination. And Richard has been reading up on the dematerialized nature of modern physics. And he wonders if somewhere in space there exists a vast psychological viewing screen picking up impressions from other times, and through which it was the fate of the Lady Dee to pass. I'll be back shortly.
From 17 to 25, young minds are so alive. They see things that others may not see. College is the place they learn the things they'll need when it's their turn to show the way to you and me. College is a place where the future of America is being built right now. But colleges are in financial trouble, and they need all the help that you and I can give them. The dollars you give to the college of your choice are an investment in America's most important asset, the minds of her children. So please, give to the college of your choice now. From 17 to 25, young minds are so alive. A public service message of this station and the Advertising Council.
And now a brief footnote to the story you've just heard. Among seafaring men, there is a belief, as ancient as the art of navigation itself, that when the wind dies down, a sailor may bring it to life again by the simple act of whistling. The mystery concerning the fate of Anne Bonny, as well as her life of piracy with Calico Jack, Mary Read, and the nefarious Blackbeard, is not legend. It is thoroughly documented historical fact. Our cast included Augusta Dabney, Paul Hecht, Corinne Orr, Margaret Barker, and Dan Ocko. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown. And now, a preview of our next tale.
Joe.
Amy?
Joe, there's something crazy going on in this house. Something real crazy. Now, Amy, honey. Joe, listen to me. There's something wrong. Jack says he never saw me before in his life.
What?
And never proposed marriage to me, and then he did. And his wife, she came to my bedroom with an axe. Hold
hand.
it, for chimney's sake, hold it. Amy, you're not making sense.
Oh, I know I'm not, because what's happening here, what's happened to me doesn't make sense
Look,
either.
will somebody explain this?
A mistake of some kind has been made.
A mistake?
Your sister, well, I haven't wanted to spell this out in so many words, but since you're here now and can take care of her, Joe, I'm afraid your sister is crazy.
Radio Mystery Theater was sponsored in part by Buick Motor Division. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams.